You're watching the Big 12 Conference on ESPN, and Oklahoma State fans have made the trip to Morgantown, where we are just about set for action. Hey, during warm-ups, Cowboys head coach Mike Gundy was wired for sound.
Good, man. You all right? Good, man.
Good to see you, brother.
Y'all doing a good job, man.
Well, same with you.
You feeling better? Good. It's a nice place, huh? Nice place to play a game. They got a heck of an environment here. It's a good place. You doing all right?
Yes, sir.
I told you keep getting better every day, man. You know what I'm saying? It's tough for big guys, but you're getting better every day.
Yeah, congratulations on your damn 400th game in Oklahoma State.
You know, somebody said that the other day, and I said, 400? I started adding up years and all that, and I think I ought to be retired by now.
Yes, 400th between his time as a quarterback and assistant coach over a couple of stints, and of course his 19 years as the head ball coach opposite Neil Brown, who in a pivotal year 5 here had a 4-game winning streak going before that Hail Mary last week. And the question around here is the response.
You know, they've decided to take on the responsibility of not just representing this team, but representing this state. And they want to use today as an example of them showing just how tough this state can be with the response at homecoming.
Logan Ward kicks it away for the Cowboys, and off we go from Morgantown. And Preston Fox runs it out, getting a chance on a kick return shy of the 20. West Virginia's been running the ball nearly 2/3 of the time. It thinks it has an elite offensive line. In the center is the preseason All-American Zach Frazier, a 4-time wrestling heavyweight state champion. He anchors this group, and a pretty good mascot as well.
Yeah, he does. I mean, they're called the Polar Bears, and he looks like a polar bear out there smothering that man. He is certainly a Sunday guy, as I like to call him, and I'm not talking about ice cream. He will be playing on Sundays in the NFL.
A lethal record for him on the mat, and a good prospect as well. Well, we told you they run it a ton, and this is C.J. Donaldson, who picks up about 5 yards. The sophomore at 238 pounds, and they want him to run hard and finish his carries.
Yeah, they know that they can get more out of him, and they're expecting him to come out today and run with authority. And when you have that much of a load on you at 238, nobody's going to want to tackle him.
Give it to him again, and Nick Martin in on the tackle. And when you talk about Garrett Green, who you mentioned, the redshirt junior from Tallahassee, who Chris had the report on, he played so well last week. Had the finish, of course, in the penalty, but he's a guy who can run it as well.
Yes, he is. And, you know, as we talked about, taking the accountability for that, understanding it, and then watching it, right? We got to move on to the next game. He's got 6 passing touchdowns and 5 rushing, so that means you got to watch him in each facet of the game.
He looks to the air with a quick throw and incomplete on 3rd down, intended for Devin Carter, the top target for West Virginia, and it brings up 4th down and a punt.
You know, they're really trying to get Devin Carter involved early in this game. A little wide right there, but as we always tell our receivers, from a quarterback's perspective, if the ball touches your hands, you got to catch it.
Devin Carter did not, coming off that big game against Houston. 116 yards, a career high. And so Oliver Straw, the sophomore from Australia, is out to punt to the dangerous Brennan Presley. Rugby style, and a high arcing kick and a fair catch signal. Bobbled at the 35 by Presley. And West Virginia's got it. Now, was there kick-catch interference for Presley? He's got to be allowed 1 yard in front of him. There's no markers.
Wow. What a colossal mistake right there by one of their best players. You're going to see his own guy runs into him.
Touched by the receiving team, recovered by the kicking team, 1st down, West Virginia.
So now we have to see if it was actually touched by Presley. Well, it was ruled that he touched it, and so far I haven't seen an angle that would say he didn't. Great job by West Virginia being Johnny on the spot, understanding that hustle pays off. Good things happen to you when you hustle.
And it was Hudson Clement, the would-be hero of last week's game on Thursday against Houston, who snatched it at 42 yards of field position, and they maintain possession.
The will not throw that the ball was touched by the receiving team.
They'll have a look. We will step aside and report back when we come back to Morgantown. In back-to-back wins for Oklahoma State, it had not turned the ball over, and then right out of the gates in this one, a call that stands. It's a nightmare start for the Cowboys.
Yeah, it is, and like you said, it's one of their best players, Brennan Presley right here. This is the best angle we had, and as close as we can tell, it looks like he touched it, but the call stand because there was not enough evidence to overturn it the other way.
And so, new life for the Mountaineers in plus territory, just inside the 35. For Garrett Green under some pressure, and he throws it at the legs for an incompletion, and already better for Neil Brown. You made the point to me during the break that he was really frustrated with the special teams play last week.
Yes, he was. He said we didn't play good enough on special teams or on defense to win the football game, but the one thing he wanted out of his punter was more air time on those punts, and right there they got beautiful hang time, and it caused a turnover. So I know he's already excited about what his special teams is doing today.
Yeah, he said kick coverage was atrocious. Yep. Worried about the punts, to your point as well. And already a plus play on special teams. Second down and 10. Cole Taylor in motion, and they find the big tight end. The LSU transfer at 6'7" to the sideline.
Oh my goodness, he took the ball away from him.
Snatched it right from him. Kendall Daniels just plucked it from Cole Taylor, and the Cowboys snatch it right back.
Oh my goodness, watching this, man. Cole Taylor goes to the stiff arm, but Kate Daniels pokes the ball out with a little Charles Tillman peanut punch there. Amazing job getting the ball. Had a game-changing interception last week. Now he comes out and he makes a game-changing play early for Oklahoma State.
Yeah, Kendall Daniels, who had that third quarter goal line interception last week. We're talking turnovers. Right away, the Cowboys get one back.
Hey, man, that's how you help a brother out. I know the offense is happy for that one.
Alan Bowman on first down, goes to the air, and he's complete. Along the sideline on a screen, he connects with Rashad Owens, coming off a big game last week for the Cowboys.
Yes, he is. And, you know, when we talked to West Virginia, they were really concerned about Bowman throwing the ball down the field and concerned about Ollie Gordon. But I think they need to focus on number 10, Rashad Owens, who went for 100 yards last week.
He's top of your screen, 10 in white, with Presley in the slot for this Oklahoma State offense. Back-to-back wins for the Cowboys against Kansas State and then Kansas last weekend. And here is Gordon. Talked about him off the top. He was spectacular. 284 total yards against Kansas.
Yes, he was. You're talking about 168 rushing and another 116 receiving. He is playing like the best back in the Big 12, and it's been just an onslaught of just finding ways to get him the football, handing it off to him, throwing it to him. He is what I call a quarterback's best friend. If you can turn around and hand the ball off to your guy and you know he's going to get you positive yards every single time, that's what quarterbacks are looking for, so they can use the play-action pass to take the top off the defense.
So on the only 100 game, and on third down, Ollie Gordon's got running room and spinning into plus territory, dragging defenders inside the 30, and that's what the sophomore from Fort Worth has done. He's got 32.
Yes, you're going to see, watch the vision. The offensive line runs everybody down, and then he gets out going. I'd like to see him put that ball in the other arm, but hey, man, when you run like he's running lately, do what you need to.
Goes left side and finds a few more yards, taking it to the 27-yard line. It was Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week, Doak Walker Running Back of the Week, and Mike Gundy said, who got National Player of the Week if he didn't? Bowman in the air, and he finds Owens again, and looks to be enough for a first down. Run out by Beanie Bishop, the sixth-year senior corner in coverage.
Yeah, I don't know who did get National Player of the Week, but I'm sure it had something to do with like Washington versus Oregon, you know, Michael Penix Jr., something like that. But Ollie Gordon is certainly balling.
From the red zone, Bowman steps up, and he will dive down at about the 15-yard line. He gets 4 yards. Sixth-year senior from Grapevine, Texas, in his first year at Oklahoma State.
Yeah, and he's had an amazing journey, and I can't wait to get Chris Button in here to kind of talk to us about what he learned from his journey going to Michigan.
He just gets rid of it over the head of Ollie Gordon. With Jarrett Bartlett applying pressure. Third down.
Now, when you get to third down for Oklahoma State, they're always trying to get the ball to Brennan Presley, but you talk about Alan Bowman's journey, starting off at Texas Tech as a true freshman and balling out, then going to Michigan, and now finding his way to Oklahoma State, his third team. the reason that they put him in this position is because of his experience. So now here in the red zone, he knows that those throwing, holes are going to be much tighter. He's got to protect the football.
He's got 3rd down and 6 on the road. Bowman, quick hitter, and there's the guy you mentioned, Presley, on a pass down the seam, and they rule it incomplete, and it brings up 4th down.
Yeah, you're going to watch right here. He tries to beat the defender right there. Needed to put the ball a little bit more to the right so Presley could turn away from the contact. But certainly that was an incomplete pass. And who other than Aubrey Burks, number 2, showing up big back in his first game. He is the guy that they talked about as the quarterback of their defense. Good to see him make a play early.
Yeah, he got carted off the field 3 weeks ago at TCU, and now before Alex Hale's field goal attempt, we have flags fly.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense number 73, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
It's on Jason Brooks, and will back up Alex Hale. So on both sides, we have seen a pretty good defensive answer after a turnover.
Yeah, we call it a sudden change. When I was in college and even in the NFL for the years that I was able to go out there and play, coaches always talked about when the unexpected happens, you have to be able to respond in a big way. Both these teams have shown that. West Virginia's defense does a nice job holding Oklahoma State to a field goal here.
This is from 37 this time for Hale, who's made 9 field goals over the last 2 weeks, and this one is on its way and good. So Oklahoma State converts the turnover into points, and this is getting wild already. Strap in, folks, on a punt and then a peanut punch on the other side.
Peanut punch. Get that ball out. Nice job, Kate Daniels.
ESPN College Football is delivered by Papa John's new Garlic Epic Stuffed Crust Pizza. Now available in spicy garlic. And in part by Progressive Insurance. The right call for your home and car.
Homecoming this weekend, so the annual homecoming parade down High Street and Pleasant Street here in downtown Morgantown on a rainy weekend, but the weather has held off. We got a great atmosphere for this one 4 minutes into the first quarter.
Yeah, we certainly thought that rain would play a factor today, but it's looking like a good old West Virginia day.
Chris Button had all the rain gear ready. Not necessary so far. It's a touchback. We check in with Matt Barry in the studio.
Okay, gentlemen, good afternoon. Time now for your Cintas studio update. And Tennessee has jumped out on top early. Joe Milton to Squirrel White for the touchdown. Tennessee up 7-0. Speaking of squirrels, let's go back to the guy that looks like he's hunting squirrels.
With a first name like that and a hat like yours, RG3.
Oh, that is good.
Matt was sitting on that one and delivers gold. So West Virginia starts at its 25, trailing by 3, and as promised, they keep it on the ground with C.J. Donaldson, who plows out to just about the 30 for 4 yards.
And if you look at C.J. Donaldson, I mean, really 103 carries for 414 yards coming into this game. That's not a great average. But the coaches believe he's just now getting rolling. He had his best week of practice this week, and he's a tough tackle. In a game like this, with so much on the line, they're going to lean on him and their offensive line to truly set the tone at the line of scrimmage.
Devin Carter into motion. Donaldson again runs into the arms of Nick Martin. It'll be 3rd and very short. And you talk about C.J. Donaldson and breaking tackles. Last year, a lot more yards after contact compared to what he's done this year.
Yeah, sometimes for running backs, it's a year-to-year thing. Guys get beat up. You don't know what they're dealing with injury-wise. But they do feel like he is on the precipice of having one of those breakouts like we've seen from the other side of Oklahoma State with Ollie Gordon II.
And this has been more so than most Neil Brown teams run heavy. 3rd down and short, Donaldson, a third straight time he gets stacked up, but appears to have enough, and he does. It's a first down before the tackle by Colin Oliver.
Yeah, we keep saying it, but when we talked to their offensive coordinator, Chad Scott, and head coach Neil Brown, they said, we believe we have the best offensive line in the country. Why are they going to continue to run the ball? Because they know Garrett Green is at his best when it comes to play action pass, and they can try to take off the top of the defense with number 7, Traylon Ray, or number 13, E.J. Horton.
On first down, Justin Johnson comes into the backfield, and off a play fake, Green lofts it, and it's intercepted by Corey Black into his waiting arms, and he runs it back inside the 40, and another West Virginia turnover, and Oklahoma State continues to take it away.
You ask any coach, what do you got to do to win the game? You got to protect the ball. Well, right here, Garrett Green off the play action, like I said, is what he does best, but this was not his best moment or his best throw. You bet on Black, and sometimes you get burned. Corey Black right there is in the right position, watching the quarterback's eyes, knowing that he can sink and then just catch it when it comes to you, baby. Nice job there by Corey Black.
And Oklahoma State's been betting on Black quite a bit. Coaching staff told us he has been our best defensive back, not just corner. The Waco native with the pick. An excellent field position for the Cowboys. Already up 3-0 on the road. Pre-snap movement, perhaps a free play. And Bowman nearly intercepted himself, but he got it there to Talon Shetron, the redshirt freshman, former top 100 recruit, for a good gain and a first down.
Offside. Defense, number 10. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is a first down.
So good game to start. And time now for Three's Keys.
All right, we got Three's Keys, guys. So the first key is going to be win the money down. Well, today the money down is first down. Make sure you put the offense behind the sticks and make them have more pressure on the quarterback. Go Green. Garrett Green has to play better than he just did on that pass throw and continue to show his growth and development. And that last P will be NASCAR.
Bowman sideline, and it's Shetron again. Explain NASCAR to me.
NASCAR is talking about Ollie Gordon II, right? I don't know if any NASCAR fans out there, but I used to love Jeff Gordon. And I loved it when he would get out to a lead because nobody was going to catch him. For Ollie Gordon in Oklahoma State, they have to find as many ways possible to get him at least 25 to 30 touches today.
He hit 30+ last week. Here is the speedster. Like Jeff Gordon to the edge. Ollie Gordon takes it inside the 5 before he got run out by Aubrey Burks, and he can be a workhorse.
Yes, he can, and you're going to see him in this offset position. Just pitch it to him and let him get out on the edge fast. When you talk about running backs with speed and power, Gordon is who you think about.
Bowman slant incomplete. He wanted Shetron again on first down and goal.
Yeah, it seems like Shetron is his go-to guy on this drive. But if you noticed, you would have seen that the corner outside was inside leverage. That makes it extremely hard for the wide receiver to get inside on a slant. I'd love to see Bowman use that experience that he has and get some hand signals to get some fades in the back corner of the end zone.
Yeah, that's the counter if they're playing inside like they were on Shetron. Second down and goal. Gordon running behind blockers left side, trying to push the pile down toward the goal line, and he gets stopped at about the 1.5-yard line. Picks up a couple, and now it's third down and goal.
It's third down and goal. Your best player on the field is number 0, Ollie Gordon. When we talked to offensive coordinator Casey Dunn, I asked him, who does third down start with? You would think it would be number 80, Brennan Presley, but they're always trying to find ways to keep the ball in Ollie Gordon II's hands. So let's see if they do the same thing here.
They're going heavy formation. Jakes Schultz and Braden Cassidy lined up in front of Gordon. Who's got it? Behind Cassidy for a touchdown. Ollie Gordon into the end zone.
Oh, you love it when a plan comes together. I know Coach Casey Dunn, the offensive coordinator for Oklahoma State, said when we get in the red zone, we have to be able to run it in. So what do? They put not 1, but 2 fullbacks in front of him and allow him to use his patience and vision to find an outside lane for the touchdown.
This guy is a bundle of energy. You said watching him on film, he's a firecracker. The performance and the personality.
Got to have both in today's game.
Alex Hale is good on the point after. midway through this first quarter. Cause and effect. Corey Black with the pick. And then give it to Ole Zero. NASCAR with Ollie Gordon. Today's Half-Black Trivia question. Mike Gundy is celebrating his 400th game at Oklahoma State as a player, assistant coach, and of course, head coach. Who's the other active FBS head coach with over 400 games at his current school?
Oh, okay. I have a guess.
Wheels are turning, huh?
Yeah, wheels are turning. Got to hold off a second.
Yep. Give the masses their opportunity. Logan Ward with a kickoff into the end zone for a touchback. Down to Chris Button.
Mike, after that interception, Garrett Green went over to his offense, apologized, took responsibility. Neil Brown was telling us he's never had a team like this, player-to-player wise, that takes accountability the way that they do. And he credits that to the fact that there's a few transfers in comparison to what most FBS teams look like. He said most of our guys, they've been here 3 to 4 years. They've been in the fight. They've been in the battle with these guys, and they're willing to own up and take accountability when they mess up.
Yeah, he did that, as you already said, after his penalty last Thursday, and apologizing after the interception. They're trying to get something going offensively, and his legs can be a factor, so Green keeps it for 4 yards. Nick Martin, the tackle, and that's got to be part of it.
Yeah, it has to be. Listen, 2 rushing touchdowns in that Houston game for Garrett Green, and I know as a quarterback that like to use his legs running the football, early in games, you want to get 1 or 2 of those within your first 5 to 10 plays, just so you feel a part of the game. That is the thing that's going to give Garrett Green the confidence that he can go out here and recover from that interception earlier.
Mike Gundy said he runs it a lot better than people think. Clean pocket, and Green across the middle, and Taylor hangs onto it this time, but he got blasted by the guy he ran into earlier, Kendall Daniels, there for the stop.
Yeah, I mean, Kendall Daniels did the peanut punch before, but you watch Garrett Green goes through his progression, get it here to Cole Taylor, and he knifes him down. I mean, he's just making that man think about a lot of different things every time he catches the football. Got to hold on to it, and you got to protect that lower body. Nice tackle there by Kendall Daniels.
Part of his 3-3-5 defense under Brian Nardo, the first-year coordinator. And it's 3rd down and a yard. Justin Johnson, the running back, not C.J. Donaldson. And it's Johnson who fights for a first down. And Kendall Daniels in on the tackle. And Johnson, a guy with just 2 carries this year. This is his first action since 3 weeks ago. Missed a couple of games with a groin injury. Then last weekend, he didn't even travel because he was sick.
Yeah, and he looks like a guy with fresh legs. You saw him right there churning for the extra yardage. He knows that C.J. Donaldson is going to get the majority of the carries, and the only way that he can steal some of those carries is to come out here and be in a big explosive playback for them, getting those yards after contact. And right there, he was able to get them the first down.
Out to the 41-yard line with the Mountaineers trailing by 10 here at home in the first quarter. And pre-snap movement, and this will go against, it appeared, the left tackle Wyatt Milam, just returning.
False start. Offense, number 72, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
And they get Doug Nestor for it instead on the left side. Hey, the next stop on the F1 schedule is the U.S. Grand Prix at the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas, tomorrow afternoon at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. Pre-race coverage starts at 1:30 Eastern, 10:30 a.m. Pacific on ABC and the ESPN app. Your kind of music right there.
Yeah, it was great music. I was wondering, have you ever been in one of those F1
No,
cars?
I've not.
I mean, wow. Those guys, don't ever say they're not athletes. What they do is nothing short of incredible.
So you have, I take it?
I have, and it was not pretty.
First down and long. Here is Johnson, and he gets blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Xavier Benson got to him, the 6th-year senior linebacker, for a loss of 2.
It's amazing to see Xavier Benson going out there making plays, because when we talked to defensive coordinator Brian Nardo for Oklahoma State, he said this guy is the heart and soul of our defense. He doesn't get the praise or the love that he deserves, but he goes out there and he makes the right play every single time, and that's exactly what he did on that run.
He was their leading returning tackler. 2nd down and long, and Green rips one into coverage. Intended for Clement and incomplete. DJ McKinney, the corner, was matched up in coverage, and now it's 3rd down and long.
You know, Oklahoma State knew coming into this game that they were going to have to stop the run, but they didn't want to be caught off guard like they were against Kansas, but because they weren't prepared to defend the pass. Right now, they're being really sticky in that underneath coverage, making sure that they're rallying to these guys on these underneath routes when they give them free access, and then getting those PBUs when the ball's in the air.
Yeah, that's where this defense, Mike Gundy thought had been beat this year. Through the air on explosives. On third down, some pressure. Green, a sideline shot, and a flag flies on a pass intended for Traylon Ray with Corey Black in coverage.
Pass interference, defense number 2, 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
You know, we talked about betting on Black before on the interception, but right here for Corey Black, he has to understand that that far down the field, you can't continue to ride the receiver out of bounds and prevent him from being able to make a play on the ball.
So that helps West Virginia matriculate out toward midfield and keep this drive alive with Black in coverage and the Mountaineers down 10, getting later on in this first quarter. Trips right for West Virginia. Donaldson trying to spit it out left side. Nothing there. No gain on the play on first down.
And when you talk about this 3-3-5, I mean, you're going to see number 5, Kendall Daniels, number 9, Trey Rucker, number 7, Cameron Epps. They're going to be up close and personal from those safety positions close to the line of scrimmage, which is why West Virginia is going to have to take more shots down the field as they continue to fill these run gaps faster and faster as the game goes on.
On second down, Green keeps it and tries to stretch it out right side around the corner. Runs out of bounds just shy of the 40. It is very close to the line of the game.
We talked about his legs. Look at him make the right read on the defensive end there and then get outside and start rolling. You know, Garrett Green guy plays with a lot of energy. We talked about him being the spark plug. When he makes a big play, just watch the sideline. They all get excited. Even a run like that, getting in that first down, could be the thing that gets this offense rolling.
He did pick up a first down, and that's the first play of at least 10 yards for this Mountaineers offense. Donaldson with a running lane up the middle for a few yards. So what's that do to the rest of an offense or a team when you have a guy that, to Chris's report, has that accountability on the sideline?
Yeah, they know I'm going to go and play harder for this guy. I'm going to dive for that pass. I'm going to try to strain a little bit harder on the interior of the offensive line because I know he's got my back. And like I said, coach said that he is one of the most liked players on the team, but also one of the most respected. And that's really hard to do. But Garrett Green certainly has that.
Yeah, sounds like you get one oftentimes, but rarely both. Donaldson on second down, running behind Nestor. He pushes forward before Nick Martin's in on another tackle, and it brings up third down and short for West Virginia in plus territory, keeping it on the ground. Yeah, you would think that this is 4-down territory, so they're bringing in the heavy set guys, going to probably give the ball once again to the running back and allow him to barrel forward for a first down. But to go back to that point about being well respected and also being well liked, the reason is when you have to hold your teammates accountable, sometimes guys don't like that. But Garrett Green has put in the time and the hours with these guys to know who they are, that when he does check them, they know that they needed to be checked in that moment. Fourth year in the program, 10th play of the drive, he pulls it, and he's got a first down. So using his legs as promised, Trey Rucker in on the tackle and a first down for the Mountaineers on a gain of 8. They went to it once, they went to it again. Here's the zone read with a design pull with Garrett Green reading the second level of the defense, not just the defensive end. And of course, in those situations, you got to get vertical. He found the hole, split 2, and got another first. Chad Scott, the offensive coordinator, said to us yesterday, Garrett Green is our best offensive weapon, period. Yep. Hasn't done it through the air so far, but using his legs on this drive for West Virginia. Shoveled out to Justin Johnson. Can't break the tackle of Trey Rucker. And on the stop for a loss from the Oklahoma State defense.
Wow, that's the beauty of the 3-3-5. Yes, you're going to have space, but if you have defenders who can tackle in space, they're able to close the distance and play downhill all the time. So right there, Justin Johnson gets it on the edge, and who's waiting for him? Trey Rucker, coming downhill fast.
And again, you said it about this Oklahoma State defense. So much focus the last couple of weeks on stopping the run, and being tasked with that here again on this long Mountaineers drive. 12th play on 2nd down and long. It's Johnson clanging forward. Nick Martin is in on another tackle. The redshirt sophomore linebacker and leading tackler of the team. And now 3rd down.
Oh my goodness. The way Xavier Benson just came in and cleaned up that hit on the outside, I could feel that hit from up here. But what I'm seeing from Oklahoma State on defense is they're challenging West Virginia to throw the football. They're loading the box, and they're saying Garrett Green is going to have to beat us either with his own legs or throwing the ball through the air.
He hasn't done it through the air yet, starting to with his legs. But right now, all Cowboys in an eventful first in Morgantown. Delivered by Papa John's. Go to one in the Big 12. A couple of 4-2 teams, both 2-1 in the league. And everybody chasing Oklahoma atop the conference, who did stay unbeaten by the skin of its teeth earlier today.
Yes, they did. Look at that mullet. Oh, that is glorious.
That is some moss. West Virginia's driving. They got a big 3rd down here just outside of the red zone for Garrett Green and company. Fake it to Johnson and Green. Down the seam and a diving bid and catch by Preston Fox. Hey now.
Hey man, Preston Fox, they call him the Honda Accord because he's always Mr. Reliable. And even when it looks like it might break down, he still gets the job done.
19 yards and much needed for West Virginia to Old Reliable, the redshirt junior and Morgantown native on the feed from Green.
And I love that throw from Garrett Green. After the interception to Corey Black, he didn't show any hesitation right there. He knew where the ball needed to be, and he got it there.
1st down and goal. Here is Johnson lowering his shoulder for a touchdown. West Virginia's on the board.
We talked about fresh legs. Justin Johnson Jr. right there just tried to baptize that man as he was running from the backfield to get that touchdown. Holy smokes.
On a key 3rd down, Preston Fox goes tumbling and diving for the conversion inside of the 5, and then, yeah, Justin Johnson looking fresh, happy to be back for the first time in 3 weeks. A guy who hasn't even been able to practice a whole lot. He's in for 6.
And this is why they said they're going to give him carries. He said, hello, Mr. Epps. See ya. Good night.
All season long, student sections across the country are competing to be the Taco Bell Lip Boss Student Section of the Year. Download the Taco Bell app to learn more.
Oh, man, look at that stash. Holy cow.
Oh, it's one of the good ones. And look at the turnaround in terms of offense for Neil Brown and the Mountaineers after the first 3 drives. 22 yards, and then they marched more than 8 minutes on 14 plays.
Yeah, good job getting Garrett Green involved with his legs. Obviously, the PI on 3rd and long certainly helped keep the drive rolling. But, hey, they'll take points any way they can get them, and they finish the drive at 7.
Michael Hayes kicks it away, and it's a touchback. There is a flag back near where the kickoff occurred. Waiting to check in with David Alvarez.
Offside, kicking team number 55. 5-yard penalty, 1st down, Oklahoma State.
So bumped out to the 30 for Oklahoma State, leading by 3 this first minute of the second quarter.
Like to see Oklahoma State get Brennan Presley, number 80, a little more involved in the scheme here on this drive.
He is slot right for Alan Bowman and the Cowboys, who again handed off to Ollie Gordon. Not much there. Now to Chris Button.
It's been a long journey back to the Big 12 for Alan Bowman. Started his career at Texas Tech, set Big 12 freshman records in passing, but 2 collapsed lungs and major injuries. Didn't get to play as much. He transferred to Michigan, where he said, I was probably overconfident in what I could do there because I had only taken he goes, I'd only taken less than 5 snaps under center. I then go to Michigan and had to run a pro-style offense where now I had to diagnose coverages. He was way down on the depth chart, never really got to play. Ends up coming back into the Big 12 at Oklahoma State. But he said, I'm so thankful for that time because now I'm such a better quarterback. I can run all these different systems. But it's interesting when you think of, hey, I have the confidence. Didn't quite pay off when he went to Ann Arbor.
And now a 6th-year senior who has emerged from the 3 QBs the Cowboys started with. Hershey McLaurin blew up the swing pass to Ollie Gordon. And now on 3rd down, here is Bowman sensing pressure. Looks like a holding flag is thrown as Bowman scampers out of bounds. The marker is back at the 20. Appeared to be on Preston Wilson, the right guard.
100%. We'll show you exactly how it looked right after we hear this from the head ref.
It was Tomi Durochaye, one of the defensive ends, who brought the heat.
Holding, offense, number 74. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
So a good stop by the West Virginia defense after the touchdown from Justin Johnson.
Yes, you know, they declined that penalty there, obviously, because the quarterback on Bowman wasn't able to get the 1st down. But it's just your typical holding penalty where the quarterback breaks the pocket, you see the jersey tug, and immediately they're going to throw that flag. But nice job of West Virginia's defense. You talked about Hershey McLaurin. Nearly good job of him rallying to Ollie Gordon and not allowing him to make a catch on that previous play.
So Wes Paul is standing back at his 20, and it gets blocked. Off the ricochet, it takes a Cowboy hop forward across midfield. And West Virginia's special teams again making an impact, and they will have excellent field position.
We told you head coach Neil Brown for West Virginia was not pleased with the way that his special teams played. And right here, they were able to push those personal protectors right into the area. Oh, looks like he punted that off of his own guy's head or his shoulder pads. Holy cow, this is not what they meant when they told him to use his head on that punt operation.
Davion Hawkins had been applying the pressure, backing up those 2 Cowboys to Wes Paul, and only a punt of 24 sets up the Mountaineers from its 41. Green will roll out to his left and find Donaldson out of the backfield across the 45 for about 4 or 5 yards, run out by Kendall Daniels.
And they're continuing the theme of continuing to move Garrett Green around, whether it's with the zone reads or a boot or naked action, just to get the blood flowing for this offense and force the defense to run sideline to sideline. I know a lot of times we wonder, hey, why do they do all these different things on offense? A lot of it is predicated on tiring out the defense so that when the 4th quarter comes, they don't have as much energy to get after the quarterback.
And it's an offense coming off a really good performance last week. Donaldson left side stretches it for a 1st down past midfield. He got wrapped up by Xavier Ross, but moves the sticks.
Yeah, just another one of their favorite runs right here. Going with the outside zone, the counter blocking action by the tight ends. Just run that defensive line sideline to sideline and let the running back find the hole.
Donaldson again tried to turn it upfield on Colin Oliver. An outside zone is their most efficient run. That's what Chad Scott, the offensive coordinator, said to us yesterday.
Yes, it's okay, Mike, you're trying to set me up here. But honestly, Chad Scott, their offensive coordinator, talked to us about a certain technique that they use in that zone blocking scheme. And I will wait until we get one of those big wide zone action run plays to diagram exactly to the audience at home what that concept is, but I'm gonna keep that one in the holster for now.
He, like you, is big on, quote, catchy buzzwords. RG3 exhibiting restraint as Green pulls it, slips a tackle from Oliver, and has running room down the sideline, and he tiptoes out of bounds inside the 25 for a first down.
You know, this is one of those rare moments when you have the best player from the defense, Colin Oliver, number 30, going up against the best player for West Virginia, Garrett Green, and Garrett Green wins in this situation with agility and speed to the outside. Nice run by him, and great job breaking that tackle in the backfield.
23 yards escaping Oliver, the junior linebacker and pass rushing force, who had 2.5 sacks and a couple of big plays on 4th downs in the 4th quarter last week against Kansas. On a first down, Green to the air. He climbs the pocket, and there is nowhere to go. Cowboys collapse on Garrett Green, and it's a loss of about 3.
Yeah, and if you noticed, the stat bar underneath Garrett Green before that play showed you that he has more rushing yards right now than he does passing. And if I'm Chad Scott or Neil Brown calling the plays, I'm making sure that I'm handing the ball off to C.J. Donaldson. I'm getting Justin Johnson Jr. involved and continuing to use Garrett Green's feet, because right now it appears that he's not seeing it clear enough throwing the football.
You see right there, 44 rushing yards to 32 yards through the air. And Oklahoma State with its first sack of the ball game. So Green pulls it this time, tries the left side, and spins by Trey Rucker to the 19-yard line and a gain of 7.
And once again, who's there to clean up the tackle? It's number 1, Xavier Benson. This man's been all over the field, but that was a very sweet spin move right there from Garrett Green. Nice job getting positive yards.
And it sets up 3rd down and 6 here in the 2nd quarter. Mountaineers are 4 for 5 on 3rd downs in this game. Donaldson motions out. Pressure comes. Green stands in and finds Devin Carter. And a sure-handed tackle short of the sticks. Made it the 16-yard line. A gain of 3. Rucker the stop, and now a decision.
That's now 2 tackles in space that we've seen from Trey Rucker. Just making sure that he closes the distance. And a lot of times when I see those DBs go for the legs on those crossing patterns, you see the receiver come out the other end. But not when Trey Rucker's around. Nice job getting Devin Carter on the ground.
5th-year senior, 3rd leading tackler. And Neil Brown decides to send out Michael Hayes from 34 yards, needing 3. You like that call?
Love it.
2 for 4 inside of this range, and Hayes sends one through the uprights to tie this game at 10. Good one going in the Big 12 on a nice fall day in Morgantown, West Virginia.
ESPN College Football, delivered by Papa John's, is brought to you by Coke Zero Sugar. Is it the best Coke ever for the best fans ever?
West Virginia's largest single-day festival is the 3rd Saturday in October. It's Bridge Day, New River Gorge Bridge, and base jumping into the gorge below.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't know if I'm doing that.
No.
It's just, I'm not afraid of heights. I love roller coasters. But my God. Is that a bungee jumping type of situation?
Don't know. I want no part of it. I do know definitively. I'll have to partake. Daredevil Robert Griffin III. I'm merely Mike Monaco. Chris Budden down at field level.
Next time we come to West Virginia, we're going to do it.
All right.
We're going to make it happen. And get it on camera so I can see your face.
Yeah, I mean, you need that if you're going to do it. 10-10 our score in the 2nd. And a touchback from Hayes. All right, let's answer the Aflac trivia question. We told you Mike Gundy, his 400th game as player, coach, head coach with the Cowboys. The other active FBS head coach with at least 400. Is this who you were thinking?
I think it's Whittingham for Utah.
It's not. Good guess.
Okay.
It's Kirk Ferentz.
Oh. That's actually makes sense. He's done a great job there at Iowa.
We went down memory lane with Mike Gundy. He told us he remembers exactly making the travel roster for game number 1. He said against the Ragin' Cajuns. He said, I was in awe of college football, fired up to make the bus. And 46 games as a player compared to 0 for Kirk Ferentz, Gundy, the 4-year starting quarterback. To the outside on first down, Alan Bowman has a completion and a good gain toward the sticks. Jared Bartlett in on the stop there on Blaine Green, a gain of 9.
You know, that was kind of interesting, you know, circled that 0 for Kirk Ferentz to be able to pull off what he's done there at Iowa with no starts as a player. I mean, it's pretty incredible.
Ollie Gordon ran into a horde of Mountaineers. Gets swung down by Mike Lockhart. The always hustling defensive tackle. A loss of 5 and third down.
Yes, but it's all because of number 2, Aubrey Burks, shooting the gap. You see him there, number 2. Allows the rest of that defensive line to rally down the line and get Ollie Gordon II in their grasp. Very great job by the quarterback of their defense, Aubrey Burks, making his presence felt early and often. And a nice tackle by Mike Lockhart.
Who cleans it up with Burks back. Again, if you're just joining us, for the first time in 3 weeks, spent time in a Fort Worth hospital and back for the Mountaineers defense. On third down, Bowman pulls it, finds Presley, their third down target. And he takes it out toward the 40 and a first down before the tackle by Anthony Wilson.
What a nifty little play call here. You read number 10, you let him go, get Bowman with the ball out in space and get it to Brennan Presley. Just the defense was expecting a run. They're expecting the ball to go to the best player on the field in Ollie Gordon II, and Alan Bowman with the great ballsmanship there to get it to Presley on the edge.
His first catch, and they go right back to him. And Presley gets swung down by Anthony Wilson, and it bears watching how many touches for Brennan Presley, team leader in receptions, coming off his biggest game of the season when he had 9 touches, 2 touchdowns, and a season-high 12 targets.
Yeah, and we talked to them about getting him the ball, and they said it's been difficult at times, and we'll explain after this play.
Bowman to the air, and he lofts it in there beautifully. Talon Shetron again, a guy who had 3 catches all season coming in. None in the last 3 weeks, and it's 14 yards, another grab and a first down.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's got more catches today than he had all year. Nice touch on that throw by Bowman.
Yeah, he's essentially matched his output here in the first half.
Yes, he has. And we talked about Brennan Presley in the slot. They found it tougher to get him the ball because teams are doubling him. So look for them to move him all around the formation today.
Starts out at the slot on the right. Bowman goes left down the sideline. Beautiful ball is dropped in to Jaden Bray, their leader in receiving yards, and a dandy to the field from Bowman.
Oh my goodness, watch him. He gets vertical, but he holds his ground, giving Bowman space on the sideline to drop a teardrop in there. Oh my goodness, I love beautiful quarterback play, and that catch was magnificent.
29 yards, Bowman to Bray, who was very quiet last time out. Now Alan Bowman settling into a rhythm as we creep toward halftime. Gordon plunges ahead, takes it to the 10, gets about 5 yards on first down.
Like I've said before, it's so much nicer as a quarterback when you know you can hand the ball off to a running back that's going to put you in favorable down and distances. You hand it to him on 1st and 10. Now you're sitting here at 2nd and 5, and the entire offense is open to you here in the red zone as they go with a 3-by-1 set.
And they go to the one side looking for Bray again. Beanie Bishop in coverage again. And in the back of the end zone, incomplete. The first incompletion of the drive from Bowman.
Yeah, Beanie Bishop kind of collisions Jaden Bray there at the top of his route. They didn't throw the flag on that one. But he's like, man, can y'all please stop throwing these fades at me right now?
The corner with a swagger was on an island. And now it sets up 3rd down and 5 for the Cowboys. Gordon tries to bounce it outside, and he's brought down. It's a loss of a couple. Aubrey Burks and Hershey McLaurin in on the stop.
And I want you guys to watch where Hershey McLaurin comes from. He runs all the way around the opposite edge and gets in there on Ollie Gordon II's feet. And who's there once again to help him out? Number 2, Aubrey Burks. These 2 safeties are flying around to the football right now.
So on both sides, we have seen another stand in that score zone inside of the 15. And it prompts Alex Hale to come out for his second attempt, this time from 29 yards. Mike Gundy says Hale has had an unbelievable season. He's been used a lot the last few weeks, and Hale is good from 29. Oklahoma State is back in front, leading by 3 on a gorgeous day in Morgantown.
Man, that's such a beautiful sight.
Back in Morgantown, where in the Big 12, Oklahoma survived today in the Dylan Gabriel Bowl. They're 4-0 in conference action, and then you've got this swarm of one-loss teams in league play.
Yeah, and they know one more loss can push their Big 12 dreams out of the way. Honestly, both of these teams are in a position that no one really thought they would be at this point in the season, especially after Oklahoma State lost to South Alabama and Iowa State. But they got back right against the Kansas schools, and now they're sitting here battling their way to try to stay in contention.
Fair catch signal on the kickoff to the Mountaineers, down by 3. We get another look at Garrett Green.
Yes, and one of the great things that he's doing right now is the zone read action. You're going to see the back come down. He's going to make the read on Colin Oliver right here, the defensive end. So as the defensive end comes down, he pulls it, and now he's going to have 2 blockers out in front to protect him on this zone read. Beautiful play design by Neil Brown and offensive coordinator Chad Scott. You protect your QB, you allow him to use his legs to the best of his ability, and he gets out on the edge clean as day. They got to run more of those types of plays and get him in space more often to come away with the win.
He has been effective with his legs. To see what he's done through the air as well. As he rolls, scans, and locates E.J. Horton, the speedy Marshall transfer. But they want to get more involved. Just got healthy last week. He's got 18 yards.
Yeah, and you talk about E.J. Horton. It's coming off of this nice little boot action. And you see him wide open. It's because he's got game-breaking speed. Defenses are afraid of his ability to get the ball down the field, so it makes some of those underneath catches a lot easier for him. Nice job getting him involved. And once again, moving Garrett Green throughout this game to get their offense rolling.
He is 5 of 6 on his last half-dozen attempts. Low snap, we have a flag that flies. And nothing there for Justin Johnson. We will check the marker.
Offside. Defense, number 97, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Hey, Big 12 now on ESPN Plus is a must-have for Big 12 fans. And next Saturday, the featured college football game is in Waco. Baylor hosting Iowa State. Coverage starts at 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central. If you're a Big 12 fan, you gotta have it. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com/Big 12 now. Someone say Waco?
I don't know. Who knows anything about Waco in this game?
First down at 5 after the penalty on Justin Kirkland, and Johnson takes it to the edge. Run out by Nick Martin, and appears to have enough for a first down.
Beautiful read right there by Garrett Green. He could have got greedy and pulled that and tried to take matters into his own hands as a quarterback, because they've had some success with the zone read like we just diagrammed for you guys on national TV. But you still have to make the right decisions, and sometimes handing the ball off to the running back, who, you know, it's kind of his job to run the football, is a good thing.
By definition. Neil Brown said that decision-making in the run game for Garrett Green was the biggest thing they saw from him last time out when he played his best game as a Mountaineer. First down, gave it this time to Johnson. What is the decision like? I mean, you mentioned the read earlier on Colin Oliver, and how quickly do you have to process?
Yeah, it's a very quick process, and right there it was more of a read on number 1, Xavier Benson, who was playing halfway between the passing concept and the running concept. So with this 3-3-5, there will be times when you come to the line of scrimmage that you know, based off their pre-snap alignment, this is probably going to be a give. But it can be hard when you're a quarterback like Garrett Green, who has made so many plays with his legs, to stay disciplined and make the right decision every single time.
He's got second down and 8 against a 4-man rush, and he rips it high for Traylon Ray. Corey Black was in coverage, and now it's third down as Ray wanted a flag.
You know, any little tug or nudge of a wide receiver while they're running full speed can throw them off. Sometimes, obviously, the DBs don't care about that, but the refs don't see it. But right there, Traylon Ray needed to be the height of a basketball player to make that catch.
Mountaineers go up-tempo on 3rd down. Green climbs, launches, downfield, Carter, touchdown! 45 yards. He beat Dylan Smith, the true freshman corner, in coverage, and Green locates his top wideout.
Just a beautiful scramble drill right there. Oh, I can't wait to break that one down after the break. But Lord have mercy, Garrett Green has this place with electricity going through it.
Getting into more of a rhythm now through the air, in addition to what we had seen already from his legs. And he knew that he had to find Devin Carter. Garrett Green said after last week, I haven't done a good enough job of getting Devin Carter the football and getting him in spaces to be special. The scramble special for 6 for the Mountaineers.
Ooh, I kinda like it. Gets me excited. I'm Matt Barry. Coming up in the Lexus halftime report, Oklahoma survives against UCF. Wild finish there in Norman, plus Ohio State dominates Penn State late in that game. And Alabama getting everything they can from Tennessee at home. Dan Mullen, Joey Galloway join me coming up on the Lexus halftime report.
All right, Matt. Yeah, a lot to unpack with those ranked on ranked games. And then here in the Big 12 as well. I mean, we were down on the field checking the score of that Oklahoma game. And these teams, a couple of one-loss teams in conference action. It's been a big second quarter for West Virginia, outscoring the Cowboys 17-3 as Brennan Presley takes it past the 25-yard line after the touchdown from Green to Carter.
Yeah, you're going to see a very easy pure progression pass concept, right? You're going to have a flat with a bench route, then you're going to have an underneath route and a basic right behind it. But what happens with Devin Carter is he whips that back out because Garrett Green is going to be in the pocket, and you're going to watch him scan across the field, break the pocket, and then get going. And right there, he finds the Wi-Fi connection and airdrops a beauty into Devin Carter. Carter saying, this is what I came here for. And that is certainly the big play that they were looking for early in this game.
The NC State transfer for 6. Alan Bowman sets up a screen for nothing to Rashad Owens.
So now you're going to see both these guys in sync. Devin Carter running his route, Garrett Green identifying everything. And a big part of this play was sometimes in basketball, Mike, when you're a little off shooting your jump shot, they say, hey, get to the basket, get some layups, get to the free throw line. They allowed Garrett Green to get to the free throw line with the zone reads, and now he's seeing the benefits in the passing game.
On second down, Bowman into a tight window, and he connects with Bray, who stiff arms his way to the sideline, and he's got a first down. So Green through the air on one side, and Alan Bowman starting to heat up. He picks up a dozen to Jaden Bray.
Yeah, Alan Bowman saying enough of that Green talk. Let's get back to Oklahoma State. Nice throw right there, knifing the zones. Alan Bowman has been in college football for a very long time. He understands how to read the defense.
Throws across the middle and finds Owens again, making a contested catch against Aubrey Burks. And it's good for a gain out to the 45.
You want to talk about a 6'2", 219-pound wide receiver that's not afraid to catch the football across the middle. That's who Rashad Owens is, showing off his toughness right there while the West Virginia Mountaineers beat him up.
And now a dosage of Ollie Gordon. Finds a lane, gets to the outside, and Ollie Gordon is run out of bounds at the 20 by Aubrey Burks.
We've seen Ollie Gordon run like this for weeks upon weeks now, and you're going to see him hit the gas. Try to get out there on the edge. Once again, I'd like to see him put that ball in the outside arm so he can utilize the stiff arm because he has a very mean one.
34 yards, and he's coming up on 100 again. trips to the right from the 20. Bowman thought about it. Now he's flushed right. Directs, throws sideline, and he's got his man. It's Presley with a successful grab at the 15 for 5 yards. And Alan Bowman is 9 of his last 10.
Yeah, I mean, very nice job extending the play. But look at this. Look at that catch on the sideline. Got the feet in. I just appreciate the art of football. And Brendan Presley just painted a picture for us.
Now on a flip to Bray, on a reverse, read well by West Virginia. Tyron Bradley, the Abilene Christian transfer, and on the stop, and now 3rd down.
This is what you call, you got to stay home. Tyron Bradley doesn't over-pursue. He makes sure he takes care of his job on the defense and brings down Bray on that tackle. Nice job staying at home and doing your job.
A lot of times in recent weeks, trips to the red zone have ended in field goals for the Cowboys. They got to convert on 3rd down. And we get a timeout taken by Neil Brown and West Virginia approaching halftime. Now a quick word from Verbo.
I'm here live on the balcony of this Verbo vacation home. And that turnover still smarts. Fortunately, with Verbo, you get the whole house. So he has the privacy to process all that emotion.
It's always
Back to you.
All right, so Oklahoma State led this game by as many as 10. They trail by 4, headed to halftime with 38 ticks left. 3rd down upcoming, trying to convert in the red zone. You've said on 3rd downs, Brendan Presley is the guy for the Cowboys.
Yeah, he is, and what they're going to try to do is move him and align him in the slot and allow it to determine what the defense is doing. Are they going to bracket him? Are they going to try to double him in some type of way? That's going to leave one-on-one matchups for number 5, Jaden Gray, and number 10, Rashad Owens. So I'm going to look at it when they get out here on defense and see where that one-on-one matchup is, and then Alan Bowman has to trust that player to go make the play for him.
Presley comes out slot right. And a couple of one-on-one matchups, including Bray to the top of your screen. Ahead of 3rd down and 9. Bowman stands in. Now he's flushed, and he throws and finds Owens working back to the football, but he is short of the sticks. Only got it to the 14 on a gain of 5 before he was met by Beanie Bishop, and now it's 4th down.
Now it's 4th down, and it's a big decision here for Mike Gundy. 400 games. It's 400 games of experience. See what he decides to do.
Scramble there at the bottom of the pile, and they unpack that with 15 seconds to go. And the Cowboys take the timeout.
And this is a case of where sometimes as a wide receiver, all that momentum catching the ball coming forward kind of hurts you, because he caught the ball what looked like right at the marker, but because he was doing right by his quarterback and making sure he closed that distance so the defender couldn't pick it off, he ends up losing yardage on the reception. Yeah, and you'll see it right here. Once again, Alan Bowman breaks out. He's working back towards the ball. So although it looked like he caught that on the 8 or 9, he ends up much further behind. And this 4th and 4 call is a big one.
Cowboys, you see, will get the second half kickoff. They won the toss and deferred that decision to out of halftime. And so decision made once again. Alex Hale comes out and Alan Bowman to the sideline.
And it's a smart thing to do. Take the points and get the ball coming out after halftime and go score again.
And Neil Brown will take a timeout.
And you know what? Every good coach I've ever been with has always told me and told our team, great teams are the ones that score the ball before the half and coming out of the half. And of course, at the end of the game. But when you can sandwich those points, it could be a great thing for your team.
Yeah, trying for the wraparound. Hey, this season, for every field goal and extra point made by participating universities, Allstate will make a contribution to the university's General Scholarship Fund. Thank you, Allstate.
What did you say they call that?
The wraparound.
The wraparound. Okay.
I got Bill Belichick staple, right?
Hey, man. I'm rocking with you.
So Alex Hale's trying to snatch some points on the front end of that before halftime on a 31-yard try. Former walk-on, 3rd year on scholarship, back to being their field goal kicker this season. From the right hash, and Alex Hale. No good. Just missed it outside of that right upright. And he comes up empty from 31. And a missed opportunity for the Cowboys.
Wow, you won that opportunity, but West Virginia's D-line got their hands up just enough and asked him if he's going to make that kick. Said, oh, hell no.
Alex Hale just couldn't curl it in time. Guy who's been so reliable this year. Coming into today, 15 for 18 this season. Last week against Kansas was 4 for 5. Mountaineers take a knee and head off to halftime with a 4-point lead on Oklahoma State. West Virginia's got the 17-13 lead. And coming up next, it's the halftime report with Joey Galloway and Dan Mullen. We send you to the studio, and Matt Barrett. Welcome back to ESPN College Football, delivered by Papa John's. You're watching the Big 12 Conference on ESPN. Nice fall day in Morgantown, West Virginia. A couple of one-loss Big 12 teams going at it. And an eventful first half. West Virginia up by 4 as we start the third quarter. Back with Robert Griffin III. He is warm. Fear not. I'm Mike Monaco. Chris Button with us as well. You talked about threes keys in the first half. Let's dig into some of those. It's our game track. It's delivered by Papa John's, and 2 guys in particular.
Yeah, if you're talking about threes keys, we talked about that West Virginia has to go green. They've got to get Garrett Green going, and they did there at the end of the first half. 148 total yards and a touchdown. Then we talked about NASCAR. That's Ollie Gordon II. He has been running the football at a very high level today, and that bottom line, talking about who's going to win the money down. Right now, Oklahoma State has actually won first downs, but they're struggling to protect the pocket or protect the defense on the back end with Garrett Green winning on those second and thirds.
Who was able to shake off the early turnover. He's been very good since that interception. And meanwhile, for Oklahoma State, it was a costly and very close missed field goal from Alex Hale just before halftime. Both these teams at 4-2 overall, and trying to stay among the ranks of the one-loss teams in the Big 12. Michael Hayes to kick it away for West Virginia. And they will take it out of the end zone. And springing ahead out past the 15, immediately wrapped up Jaden Nixon. Before the half, Garrett Green caught up with Chris Budd.
Garrett, what did you see on that long touchdown pass to Devin Carter?
Yeah, you know, Devin did a great job adjusting to the scramble. You know, that's something we work every day in practice, and we did a great job executing it.
How'd you get your offense to respond after the early turnovers?
Yeah, I think that's what this team's built on. We're a resilient bunch. You know, we're not going to let things affect us, so, you know, we're on to the next play.
Appreciate it. Good luck in the second half.
He was 6 of 8 for 94 yards and a touchdown, and then 50 rushing yards as well after his interception that Chris told you he addressed with his teammates. Oklahoma starts out just past the 15. It's the worst starting field position for either team. Ollie Gordon, as you said, workhorse in the first half, and there is nothing there. He runs into Lee Koba and Tyron Bradley. How much would you feed him in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame them for trying to give him the football there early and often to start the second half, as he got an injury down on the field.
There's also a flag on the left side in the direction that Gordon ran. That's Jason Brooks Jr., left guard, the redshirt junior from Houston. Second year at Oklahoma State after he started his career at Vanderbilt. It's an offensive line that was excited to welcome back Dalton Cooper at left tackle. He left last week in the first quarter with a shoulder issue.
Unsportsmanlike conduct and necessary roughness. Defense number 1. 15-yard penalty and automatic first down.
That's on Lee Koba, fifth-year senior and leading tackler for West Virginia.
So they called it after the play. Him getting up and pushing down Ollie Gordon II. Just unnecessary. Don't need to do that. Don't want to hurt your team. And we pray that when we come back, we have positive news about Jason Brooks.
This week's college football rankings brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Still to come in that 4 slot, Florida State about 2 hours away from now. And a big one on ABC against Duke.
Oh, yes. Jordan Travis, Trey Benson, Keon Coleman, wide receiver with the one-handed snag last week. They're looking to keep it rolling and keep their climb to the college football playoff going.
That was sick, and yet it's become the norm for Keon Coleman.
Yes, it has. He is a special player.
Cole Birmingham has come in at left guard as Bowman connects with Presley across the middle on a drag route out to the 35. Gets 5 yards. Ben Cutter on the tackle.
Yeah, and you'll see that when Oklahoma State drops back to pass, they're going to have to take those underneath routes, give what the defense is giving them, or as we say, take what the defense is giving to you. Don't be mad about completions.
4-man rush, pocket holds up, and Bowman left side and incomplete. Just off the fingertips of Talon Shetron, the freshman who was very involved in the first half and now 3rd down.
Yeah, Alan Bowman really wishes he could get this one back and put it a little bit lower. But for Talon Shetron, he's got to make that catch. Don't worry about the guys that are surrounding you. They cannot hit you until you come down with the pass anyway, with all the protections for wider receivers. But man, it really sucks to see Jason Brooks Jr. there on crutches on the sideline. We pray for a full recovery for him.
Sure do. 3rd down out pattern, and that is caught by Presley, the guy on 3rd down, and he's got enough to move the sticks.
Yeah, just watch the way how he just sets up the route. Yes, he's got free access coverage, but you still have to threaten them vertical so they don't jump the route right away. He does a nice job of that, getting the 1st down for the Cowboys.
And now out of the heavy set, Gordon behind a couple of fullbacks in there, and Schultz and Cassidy. This is a team that has changed its run concepts over the course of this season to fit what Ollie Gordon can do. He searches for a couple of yards, and they're using him a ton, as you were saying before the injury.
Yeah, and it's kind of shocking. Like when we talked to the coaches this week, they said, you know, Ollie didn't really win the job out of fall camp. He didn't really establish himself early in the year quite like we thought that he might after his breakout game last year against West Virginia, where he ran for over 100 yards. But he has certainly taken the reins over the past few weeks, showing what kind of player he can be.
Gets it again on 2nd down, and with 1 cut, he makes it 3rd down and short, Chris.
Ollie Gordon, he told me there was a conversation after the first 3 games with his staff of getting him the ball more because of the development of his offensive line. And he said, the biggest thing for me is recovery. When we spoke this week, it just got down to cold tub because I never had to carry the ball this much, so I just had to make sure I'm taking care of my body each week.
35 touches last week, 14 totes already today, and now 3rd down and 4. And the Cowboys 4 of 8 on 3rd downs so far in this game.
Yeah, and they've been loving this formation so far in this game as well.
To the air, Bowman up the sideline and incomplete. In the double coverage, help from the safety Burks, who laid a lick along the sideline.
Oh my goodness. Their wide receiver is probably saying, Alan Bowman, why'd you put so much air on it? Holy cow. Aubrey Burks comes across, clean legal hit, gets over there, dislodges the man from the ball. And I know that's not a sight that we want to see with guys getting injured. But at the same time, football is a physical game. And right there, Aubrey Burks brought the pain.
And you had mentioned for Talon Shetron earlier that he was maybe sensing some contact on an earlier target on this drive. And that time, the pain came from Aubrey Burks, who has made an impact in his return.
Yeah, he has. And like you said, football is a very, very physical sport. We hope that Talon Shetron is okay and can get back out there and play the game he loves.
This punt bounces just outside of the 20 and takes a Cowboy hop inside the 10. Well, hey, we already teased this tonight. One of the biggest games of the week and the biggest game in the ACC. Number 16 Duke. What's the quarterback situation look like against the aforementioned Keon Coleman? And number 4 Florida State. Coverage starts at 7:30 Eastern 4:30 Pacific on ABC and the ESPN app. And this offense for the Noles, you saw it firsthand, has been humming.
Oh, yes. Look at how many consecutive games they've had with 30 points. They just find a way to get to 30. Their defense is built to rush the passer. But, man, how about Duke? Duke is a football school now.
At game day a few weeks ago, it's all happening for Mike Elko's team. Donaldson left side and nothing there for this Brian Nardo Oklahoma State defense. What were your impressions of the Cowboys defensively in the first half?
Yeah, I mean, in the first half, I thought they came out humming, right? Corey Black has the big interception there. They made Garrett Green have to beat them with his arm. But then once they lost contain on him individually, West Virginia was able to start getting rolling. They got to do a better job with their cage rush. And when he does scramble, get him on the ground before he gets going.
Second down, a play fake and a wobbler in the direction of Preston Fox, who gets a couple of yards before Nick Martin's in on another tackle, and now third down and long.
Yeah, and you keep saying that name, Nicholas Martin, shortening it to Nick Martin. He's the one that finished the game against Kansas.
On third down, under pressure, Green got it away and incomplete. Just heaved it in the direction of Cole Taylor, with Nathan Latu bearing down on him, and now fourth down.
You know, they decided to go fast there on third down to try to catch the defense off guard, not let them get their pass rush defense on the field. And it honestly felt like they were a little bit out of whack. Kind of a little uncharacteristic from Garrett Green in this West Virginia offense here in the second half. Sometimes you want to go fast, but it's always better to know exactly what you're doing before you snap the ball.
Oliver Strauss out the punt. We had 2 punts combined in the first half, and already 2 in the first 2 drives out of halftime. It takes a Mountaineer hop inside the 40. So 17-13 is still the West Virginia lead. Neil Brown and West Virginia homecoming in Morgantown. That is first-year Oklahoma State defensive coordinator Brian Nardo, 37-year-old who got hired after 1 year as the DC at D2 Gannon University. Mike Gundy said this: "I didn't know what Gannon was." For more on the Nardos, down to Chris.
It's a family reunion for the Nardos because Brian's little brother, Luke Nardo, is a graduate assistant for Neil Brown's team. They got 50 family members here, including grandmother Kathy, who's 91 years old, came down. She lives in Ohio, about 90 minutes away. She made sure to be at the Oklahoma State team buses to say hi to her grandson Brian, one of 50 Nardo family members here in a reunion in Morgantown.
Oh, an understandable emotion from Miss Kathy. Jaden Gray, the reception on first down. That is beautiful.
Oh, man. I'm a sucker for family love, and it's really cool to see how college football can bring people together, especially family, with as long of a track record as the Nardos.
Mike Gundy has never been afraid to go off the map a little bit with a coordinator hire, and he did that with Brian Nardo. Mike Gundy said to us, "I kept him for 6 hours in the interview process."
You better get the job after that.
Throwing everything he could at him on the whiteboard. Second down and 3, and it's Gordon to the right side. He gets banged from behind, gets a couple of yards, and appears to be short. Tyron Bradley to stop, and it's third down.
Yeah, and you know, we look at the stats for Ollie Gordon right now, and outside of that rush going into this drive, 9 of his 14 carries were for 3 or fewer yards, but he had carries of 32, 13, and 34. It's been a little boom or bust with Ollie Gordon, but I know some great running backs that have had that similar type of quality, from Adrian Peterson to a guy that the Pokes know very well, Barry Sanders.
Yeah, pretty good company. That's how it goes as a running back sometimes. Third down and 1, and Gordon with a head of steam ahead, and he's got the first down. And you saw him after the prior carry come up John. That is the norm. This guy, as we told you in the first half, brings so much energy.
Yes, he does. And that run right there was a 3-yarder that he'd be more than happy with. And as you said, as a running back, at the end of the day, it's all tallied up the same. It doesn't matter how you get to your 100 yards or 200 yards rushing. It's the fact of the impact that you're making, and Ollie Gordon is making a positive impact for the Pokes today.
Sophomore who's been excellent with the increased workload Chris told you about. Bowman with a clean pocket goes down the sideline for Bray, who draws a flag. Matched up with Beanie Bishop the corner for the Mountaineers. And now a late flag flies in as well, back toward midfield and the line of scrimmage. David Alvarez.
Announcement player downfield, offense number 61. Pass interference, defense number 11. Those penalties offset. Still first down.
So on Jake Springfield, right tackle, and a PI on Beanie Bishop.
Yeah, you're going to see Beanie Bishop. He's going to collision the receiver and then keep his hands on and run him all the way out of bounds. You can't do that. As a DB, that's just I don't know what's going on there. But then you're going to see number 61. He must have thought it was a run play because he decided to run down the field. So let's get these guys back on track and making the right decisions on both sides of the ball.
We stabilize with first down and 10, and Bowman for Presley again. And he starts to push the pile and picks up about 7. Aubrey Burks will wrap them up.
You know, I talked about how football can be an art in the first half. And right there for Brennan Presley, he exhibited one of the qualities of a wide receiver that is the most important, knowing when you're open. It's not just, hey, go in here and run a 10-yard out. If you fill the spot in the zone, you sit down, you get your eyes back to the quarterback, and that's exactly what he did right there. Alan Bowman raves about this guy and how high his football IQ is, and we got to see a little bit of it right there on a short game.
On second down, a play fake, and Bowman takes a deep shot into coverage and intercepted. Anthony Wilson hangs on near the goal line, and West Virginia's got a takeaway.
Oh, buddy. Hey, man, these DBs are out here today showcasing that they do have some hands. Anthony Wilson said, hey, man, you're going to try to throw it to Rashad Owens over the middle? Well, you better throw it to him, not to me. Because when it gets in my area, those cookies are mine.
Duke, Florida State, tonight at 7:30 on ABC.
Now I want to show you guys what happened on that interception. This right here is Anthony Wilson. What the offense is going to try to do is they're going to run a post across, a dig right behind it, and then a post by the receiver over the top. Now what they're trying to do is get Anthony Wilson to cut one or both of those cutters, but he doesn't, and Alan Bowman has to see that. The way he threw this ball was as if Anthony Wilson was not there. Great job by Anthony Wilson reading his keys and being where he's supposed to be and making the interception for West Virginia.
And West Virginia's first pick since week 3 in the brawl against Pitt. Donaldson on first down for a couple, and you gotta love DBs who can catch and hang on like that. And it just adds to the list of miscues we've seen on both sides in this game.
Yeah, it does add to that list, and I've been shocked by how many DBs are catching the ball today because that's not normally what they do, but we've seen a muffed punt, we've seen a missed field goal, an interception from Oklahoma State, and then an interception and a fumble from West Virginia. When you're playing in these tight matchups, the winner of the turnover battle typically comes out on top.
Green rolls out, senses pressure, and throws incomplete. He got blasted by Nick Martin blitzing.
I talked about Nicholas Martin and how he finished the Kansas game with a tackle. And right here, look at him come out of the middle of the field ferociously. He said, y'all can go green if you want to, but not today, not on that play. Great job by him closing the space and letting the quarterback feel him.
East Texas linebacker who is undersized, Mike Gundy says, but he will strike you. Calls him an old school player.
Yeah, those East Texas boys, man, they know how to play football.
So now it's third down and 7 for the Mountaineers, backed up just outside of their 5. 4-man rush. Green, sideline, Fox, and he overshot him. Incomplete, and it brings up 4th down.
We already told you guys, Preston Fox, they call him the Honda Accord. Right there, they needed it to be a Lamborghini because Garrett Green got a hold of that one. Sometimes as a quarterback, when you throw those fades down the field and you haven't really pushed the ball down the field in quite some time, you can be a little bit off. I'd like to see him err on the side of giving his receiver a chance to make a play as opposed to throwing it 10 yards past him.
You're saying if you're going to miss a little shorter on the deep ball?
There you go. Everyone wants to throw it out the back end. Trust me, I did the same when I was a quarterback. But sometimes just putting it on your receiver is the best thing.
Oliver Strong gets it away toward midfield, and a fair catch signal from Brennan Presley. That is 48. Kick off your Week 7 NFL Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern with the Countdown crew on ESPN and the ESPN app. Then Joe, Troy, and Lisa and the Monday Night Football crew will be in Minnesota, where Brock Purdy, the 5-1 now 49ers after they ran into the Browns defense, take on the Vikings. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, ABC, ESPN, and ESPN Deportes.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game. Going to be there for Monday Night Countdown with our new crew led by Scott Van Pelt. And we're going to talk about Brock Purdy and whether or not he may or may not be an elite quarterback, but he certainly is playing like one.
Ollie Gordon on first down, slips a tackler and gets to the second level. Spinning around and finally nudged out of bounds near the 25 after a gain of 27 for a guy. It's kind of like a Lamborghini himself.
Yes, he is. And just watch how he shows the patience in the hole and makes the jump cut. Now it's about, listen, little men, you keep going for my legs, but these bad boys are built. They're built too strong for you to be trying to tackle me like that. Ollie Gordon has been amazing the past 2 weeks, and he is showing you every asset of his game.
From the 25, they hand it to him again. 4 yards. Lee Koba the tackle. You mentioned how he didn't really grab the job early on, and that's why the touches have increased recently. Offensive coordinator Casey Dunn said to us, we wanted him to see that anger, that desire, the edge in practice that he does turn on in games.
And that's just a testament to every young player out there listening. You got to do it in practice because that's what the coaches are going to go off of, not just on game day.
Bowman on a slant and incomplete. Tried to find Rashad Owens, and he was dealing with some contact from Beanie Bishop.
Yeah, and to be quite honest, this might all be fair game. Beanie Bishop gets in there, kind of throws his arms around him, but it's a bang-bang with the ball in the air. Rashad Owens has to make Alan Bowman right because Bowman saw the coverage, made the right throw, and it was on Rashad right when it was supposed to be. He's got to make that catch.
Ollie Gordon comes back in, replaces Jaden Nixon, and now stretches out wide. Brennan Presley is slot right on third down for the Pokes. Bowman sensing pressure and throws to Owens for a first down to the 10-yard line to move the sticks on a gain of a dozen.
Yeah, just a nice, easy spot concept. They're going to run the sit with the corner in the flat. The zone vacates. Rashad Owens is right there. That's a lot much easier catch for him than having to deal with Beanie Bishop Jr. on the outside, hassling him all day long.
And just sat down, found some comfort, and he's got a half dozen catches now. And it's first down and goal for Oklahoma State, trailing by 4. But inside of 6 to go in the third. Gordon up the middle, burrowing ahead, and he drags defenders to the 5-yard line and picks up about 4.5.
I can't stress the patience of Ollie Gordon II enough. Right there, a lot of backs would just try to run in the back of their own guy. He was patient, went side to side, kept moving along with the offensive lineman, and then knifed the gap when he had a hole. Just a nice, patient run. Those are the runs that are underappreciated by running backs.
He lines up beside Alan Bowman, and now empty with 5 wide. On second down, Bowman a slant for Bray and a touchdown. And Oklahoma State surges back in front. First touchdown of the season for Jaden Bray, the redshirt sophomore from Norman, connecting with Alan Bowman.
It's a very nice play concept drawn up there by Casey Dunn. Looking forward to showing you guys that right here after this extra point.
And Alex Hale comes on for the point after. And the Cowboys are in front inside of 5 to go in the third.
Yeah, and you know, we talk about these kind of pick routes in the red zone all the time. This is not one of them. He's going to push vertical and come under on a slant, and this receiver is going to stall the man in front of him and then run a box fade to the back corner of the end zone. Now what this does is it creates a quote-unquote natural rub. That DB now has to run through that wide receiver to try to make the play on the quote-unquote now route by the outside guy. Beautiful play design, easy, simple throw for the quarterback. Sometimes the right play is the easy play, and Bowman made the one right there.
Little more subtle than a true pick play, a true screen, and it just sets it up beautifully for Gray.
And it's because the refs have been all over the pick plays, not only in college, but also in the NFL. So there's easier ways to create that same illusion without it being so obvious.
And it leads to a touchdown for Oklahoma State, capping a 6-play, 52-yard drive in just shy of 2.5 minutes to put the Cowboys in front by 3. And a kickoff from Logan Ward and a fair catch signal from Preston Fox. Top 20 showdown is coming tonight, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on ABC and the ESPN app. Bill Campbell Stadium in Tallahassee will be rocking for this one. Duke and Florida State. We told you about the Noles offense. Duke has had an elite defense, top 5 in the country this season. It is strength on strength.
It is strength on strength. And when I see these types of numbers, what pops to my head immediately is Jordan Travis's feet are going to be very important tonight. They're going to try to take away Trey Benson. They're going to try to take away Lawrence Toafili, and of course, double coverage on Keon Coleman. But Jordan Travis's feet could be the difference.
Garrett Green stands in and floats it downfield and incomplete. There is a penalty flag that comes in at the end on a ball intended for Traylon Ray, matched up with Corey Black.
Pass interference, defense, number 2, 15-yard penalty and automatic. First down.
Well, there certainly was a lot of contact on this one, and you're going to see it right there at the bottom of your screen. Corey Black's holding on a little bit. All right, guys, I got to be honest. That was probably equal pass interference, because what it looked like at the end there was that Traylon Ray was actually grabbing Corey Black, trying to prevent him from making a play on the football. But they ended up getting Corey Black for the pass interference, and there certainly was contact. So unfortunately for the defense, it gives offense a fresh set of downs.
Second defensive pass interference on the Cowboys. Green rolls out, still scanning, and he will tuck it to the sideline. Gets ushered out by Nick Martin at about the 45-yard line.
I love how the whole stadium almost had a fit right there because Nicholas Martin touched Garrett Green as he was going out of bounds. Also, you want to know how much a team loves a guy? Just watch the West Virginia sideline when Garrett Green came out of bounds there. They were ready. They were ready to get on Nicholas Martin if he did any more touching. So I love to see that from teams protecting their quarterback.
Yeah, a whole lot of hold me back guys over there coming to his defense. From the 46 on second down and 4, Colin Oliver applied pressure on Green, who just submarined beneath the defender, Cale Smith.
Yeah, Cale Smith is probably happy that he submarined under him as well, because that was almost a direct blow to the head. As you see Garrett Green come on this zone read, he knows he's dead in water, so he just gets down. Whew. I've had a concussion from a play like that before. Glad that Garrett Green's okay.
Collision avoided, and now third down and 5 for West Virginia around midfield. Green across the middle for Devin Carter. He's got a first down into plus territory at the 49 on a gain of 6. The tackle made by Trey Rucker, and Carter out of the slot the last couple of weeks has been effective.
Yeah, we saw him make the big play on the scramble drill earlier in the game, but they felt like getting him in the slot at 6'3", 214 pounds, that's what I call a big slot. You know, that's probably an understatement. But look at the increase in his number of plays in the slot. Last week, 93% of the time, and he had his best game. The way that offensive coordinator Chad Scott told us was, this was both his idea and Coach Neil Brown's idea. He knows how to play the game.
Carter slot left, and Green rolls out to his right, pumps, throws and incomplete. Intended for Cole Taylor, the tight end, walking the tightrope on the sideline. Second down.
Well, we've seen some pretty crazy sideline interceptions from this Oklahoma State team before. Cameron Epps almost pulled off one right there. Got to be careful when you're in those scramble type of situations. The closer you get to the sideline, typically the more guys start to close in on you. Got to be careful as a quarterback not to put the ball in harm's way.
What do you think about the decision making that you've seen from Garrett Green in this game? Because that was a big area of improvement last week.
Yeah, I think it's been a little up and down, especially when you look at the beginning of the game. But I love the response that he's had since that interception.
Hands it off to Justin Johnson. Foot in the ground, turning upfield, and spins to the 45. Gets a few, and it'll bring up third down.
I can't stress enough, like looking at Justin Johnson Jr. run, you see the freshness. We're 6 games into the year, and like you said earlier, Mike, he's missed 2 games due to injury. He missed last week due to being sick. There's something to say that him coming into this game only having 2 carries, he's already got 8. Now his average hasn't been great, but he has provided a spark for this run game.
He stays in there, and Green keeps it right up the middle, and he's got a first down. And a touchdown saving tackle in the secondary from Trey Rucker after 13 yards for Green.
And the best part about it is it was a broken play. Both guys thought they were being read, so Garrett Green said, you know what? I'll take it myself. Fastest way to get from point A to point B is what, Mike? A straight line.
Kendall Daniels now is still seated, slow to get up on the Oklahoma State defense. The redshirt sophomore who plays the rover position and their second leading tackler. Well, while we have a moment, Tuesday night, all 32 NHL teams take the ice. We'll have a triple header here on ESPN. It starts with the Caps and the Maple Leafs at 6 Eastern. Then the Bruins against the Blackhawks. And Connor Bedard, and then the night is capped off with the Flyers and the reigning Stanley Cup champs, the Golden Knights. And plus, it's a Frozen Frenzy whip-around coverage, red zone style, every game starting at 8 Eastern over on ESPN2 with John Butchergross and Kevin Weeks. That coverage starts with the point at 5 Eastern.
You ever play any hockey?
1 year and not very well. Called a lot of it. I'll be doing that game in Washington, D.C. Oh. But no, cannot play it.
I might have to check that game out since you're calling it. You're doing a great job today.
Can you skate?
I can skate. Yep. I can ice skate. I have never played hockey, but I would love to get in one of those fights. Not gonna lie. Just throw off the gloves and start throwing the dukes.
Fourth line enforcer Robert Griffin III, Chris Button with us as well. Mike Monaco and our entire crew behind the scenes. So Kendall Daniels walked off with a bit of a limp late in this third quarter with West Virginia driving and Garrett Green at the controls. Play fake on first down, and Green, the middle of the field for Horton, and a touchdown. 32 yards to E.J. Horton.
Oh, what a big boy throw right there from Mr. Garrett Green off the play action, which I told you guys is what he's really, really good at. Oh, we're going to break that one down for you as soon as we get after this kick.
E.J. Horton just got healthy last week. Coaching staff told us they were going to try to get him going today. Well, right now, Hudson Clement is in a walking boot. Got medical attention back in the locker room in the first half, and so with him unable to go, insert E.J. Horton, and he delivers.
Yes, he does. All right, I want you guys to watch these two safeties. When we talked to their offensive coordinator, Chad Scott, this week, he said, we want to attack the safeties in the red zone. They're going to run a corner route by one and a post across the middle by E.J. Horton. What that does is if the front side safety takes the corner, the entire middle of the field is wide open. Garrett Green saw it. E.J. Horton had the speed to get there, and they delivered. Love it.
So the corner takes Rucker, the other safety, basically out of the picture, and it's Cam Epps for everything else in the middle of the field.
Everything else in the middle of the field. And the one thing that every defensive coordinator will tell you is we don't really want our safeties in coverage, right? These guys are some of the leading tacklers on the team. They are run stoppers. Good athletes, but they're not cover guys. Otherwise, they'd be playing corner. So amazing play design and nice delivery from Garrett Green for the touchdown.
Now, E.J. Horton. Chad Scott said to us, you know, you could say that maybe he's a one-trick pony because he is a speed guy, but they felt like there was more in there from him.
Yes.
And E.J. Horton makes his presence felt late in the third with 90 ticks to go in this third quarter here in Morgantown. Mountaineers are feeling good as we ping pong back into fourth. Short kick bounces inside the 20, and they will just duck out of bounds. Well, we've seen a little bit of everything, RG3, in this game. We've had some miscues. We've had punts going off offensive linemen. We've had a great hat as well, and we do go back and forth in this game.
Right. And you talked about E.J. Horton being a one-trick pony. Well, a coach's job is to put his guy in position to do the thing that he does best. And right now for E.J. Horton, that's taking the top off the defense. I think as we get further into this game, Garrett Green's going to have to continue to play at the level that he is. And Alan Bowman, it's going to come down to the quarterbacks. We always talk about how important the QB position is. Well, right now, these two guys are vying for their Big 12 lives here and a chance to continue to stay in that race for the Big 12 title.
Bowman rolls out and he floats it for Brennan Presley, who's got nowhere to go. Nothing doing and a loss as Ben Cutter, the true freshman starting linebacker, makes the stop.
Oh, yeah. Ben Cutter, 5 tackles last week, and right there for Brennan Presley, Ben Cutter down right there on the edge.
Nicely done. Second down for the Cowboys. McLaurin showing blitz off the edge. And Bowman looks to the sideline. Final minute, third quarter. McLaurin off the left side. It's a give to Gordon, and he is stacked up after just 2 or 3 yards for Ollie Gordon. And now it's third down for Oklahoma State, down 4.
You know, you hear defensive coordinators always say we got to have great gap control defense. And when you play that 3-3-5, everybody's got to do their individual job. Right now for West Virginia, their entire front is in sync. They are shrinking the holes and not giving Ollie Gordon those opportunities to really knife through and break through that first line.
Jake Springfield is slow to head off the field, the right tackle for Oklahoma State, who already lost left guard Jason Brooks in this game as well. Third down and 8. Cowboys 6 of 12, you see, on third downs in this game, and Bowman 4 for 7 on him through the air. Bowman across the middle, and he's got his tight end, Josiah Johnson, the UMass transfer, for a first down. So much needed for Alan Bowman and the Cowboys as the fourth quarter is next from Morgantown.
The playoff race is so wide open.
Who's going to survive the gauntlet?
College football playoff top 25, October 31st on ESPN.
Couple of teams here on the outskirts of the AP top 25 coming into this one, and it has delivered. West Virginia 24, Oklahoma State 20 as we start the fourth quarter in Morgantown with Alan Bowman across the middle and incomplete. Wanted a slant. Chris Button moments ago with Neil Brown.
Coaches, you guys trade scores in that second half. What will it come down to in this final 15?
Well, we got to get us some stops here. It's been a field position game here in the second half, so we got to do a really good job here on defense. It's a big series. You know, if we can get a stop, then we got to take the ball down and score. Good mix-up last drive on offense. We got to continue that.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, thanks.
So Neil Brown looking for a stop against the Cowboys from just outside of the 30. Pressure on Bowman, and he floats it incomplete as pressure was in his face from Marcus Floyd.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody was there on that pass.
Quarterback was outside the box. The ball went beyond the line of scrimmage. 3rd down.
So they say it was beyond the line of scrimmage, outside of the tackle box from Alan Bowman, who has led 184 passing yards for the Cowboys in this one and now faces 3rd down.
Yeah, and we'll look as he... Yeah, I mean, listen, they made the call. He certainly got the ball past the line of scrimmage and was retreating away, so maybe he did get outside of that tackle box.
Faces another 3rd down. Quick throw, screen, Presley, blown up by Floyd. 4th down.
How do you shut down a screen? You never let it even get rolling. They're going to run a tunnel screen right here, and you're going to see Marcus Floyd just circled him for you. Watch what he does. He identifies what's going on, and he attacks immediately. No indecision. A little half-second pause right there could have allowed that screen, that tunnel screen, to get rolling, and he didn't have any of that. Nice job by him.
He's an aggressive player, and he made the play, and now Fox got drilled by his own man, and the Cowboys are on it. Wow! This has been mayhem on punts.
Oh, my goodness.
Andrew Wilson-Lamp ran into his return man, Preston Fox.
Yeah, and you see, he actually got pushed into Preston Fox by Oklahoma State defender there. A little Mountaineer on Mountaineer crime.
The officials are conferring after the contact from Wilson-Lamp, pushed in by the Oklahoma State player, back into Fox. It was Cale Smith, the cornerback, who gave the shove on Wilson-Lamp.
Yeah, so there's 2 things there. 1, certainly pushed Wilson-Lamp into Preston Fox. And then 2, if you're Oklahoma State, why'd you fall down, buddy? Go run to the end zone. Once you catch that ball, it's not like it was on the ground. He had to jump on it.
The ruling on the field is that the ball was touched by the receiving team and recovered by the kicking team. 1st down. Oklahoma State.
So they do say touch and recovery. 44-yard swing of field position, and oh so similar and in about the same spot as what we saw go the other way in the 1st half.
Exactly. It's like we talked about, a game of miscues. Now we've seen 2 muffed punts. This one a little bit more of your own guy running into you and causing you to drop the ball. But nevertheless, Oklahoma State has the football.
Bowman to the air, quick throw, incomplete, looking for Rashad Owens to the sideline, and yet another miscue that we have seen in this game that's been chock full of them. Yes. And a 1-score game.
Yeah, we talked about the muff punts. Both teams have had one. Interception, both teams have had one. Had a missed field goal and a fumble. This has not been the prettiest ordeal. And for Oklahoma State, they have really been going after Beanie Bishop Jr., the corner for West Virginia. But he's held his own. So I don't know if they misidentified that mismatch or what's going on.
Gordon left side, cuts it upfield at the hash marks and pushes the pile for a 1st down to the 16-yard line. Malachi Ruffin the stop.
When in doubt, give the ball to Ollie Gordon II. This man is churning out yardage today.
144 yards on the ground from the sophomore, coming off the huge day last time out against Kansas. 100 on the ground and 100 through the air for him against the Jayhawks. Alan Bowman's just 1 for his last 4 for -3 yards as he stares down 1st down. It's a give. It's Gordon. Left side, slips the tackle. End zone. Touchdown, Oklahoma State. Ollie Gordon again, and the Pokes are in front.
Man, when in doubt, give the ball to Ollie Gordon II. Watch him. Look at the hole that the offensive line gives him to run through. And when you give him that much space with his speed, he is certainly going to find his way down the field. And right there, he found his way to the end zone.
He is spring-loaded and caffeinated and a joy to watch. You said yesterday during our meeting, this guy's a firecracker. He has put the Cowboys back on top by 3 early on in this fourth and cause and effect one more time off the turnover.
Yep, a little Mountaineer crime there. Oklahoma State gets the muff punt, and then they give it to Ollie Gordon the second. Look at the clean visor as he gets into the end zone.
In back-to-back wins for Oklahoma State, they had generated 5 takeaways.
Yep.
RG3, they got 3 more today.
Yeah, and that's the big name of the game. We talked about it. You got to win the turnover battle. And, you know, on that muffed punt earlier, just want the fans at home to know that the guy did the right thing. You can't advance a muffed punt in college football in the NFL. So very nice job by him to just hop on the ball.
Matt Berry in the studio with an update.
Yeah, gentlemen, pair of updates for you, starting with Oregon and Washington State. This one was closed for a minute. Bucky Irving now 3 touchdowns on the afternoon. This a big one to give Oregon a big lead, 31-16. Jace McClellan for Alabama. First lead of the game for the Tide, 24-20 end of 3.
All right, Matt, we got a good one going here in Morgantown. 27-24 now, Cowboys. Mountaineers with it. Garrett Green on the roll, the throw, the catch. It's Preston Fox. Old Reliable's got a first down past the 50.
There he is again. He just got shellacked by his own guy on the punt return. But even right here, nice job with the scramble drill. Ooh. And Garrett Green just barely got that one over Kendall Daniels for a nice completion for the Mountaineers.
Degree of difficulty on some of Preston Fox's catches has been so high.
Yeah, it really has. And we keep talking about him being Mr. Reliable, but you need receivers like him, especially with their guy, Hudson Clement, not out there right now.
From the +49, here is Green. Climbing and rolling. Fakes and gets to the edge and reaches out ahead of Nick Martin, and he's got a first down inside the 40.
Just Garrett Green doing what Garrett Green does best. When the play is not there, step up in the pocket. And now let's keep our eyes downfield just in case there's a throw possibility, and also throw the defense off. Use those feet to move the chains. You know, when we talked with offensive coordinator Chad Scott, he told us sometimes we just have to open up the playbook for Garrett Green to give him running lanes just in case nothing is there. Those open sets do a really nice job of creating lanes for him to run through.
2 backs. They give it to Justin Johnson. Bangs into his offensive line. It's a loss of 1. Yeah, what does it do for a quarterback in the run game when it's open like that?
Yeah, you know, a lot of times we see coordinators, they want to get into these stacks and bunches and try to really get the defense to declare itself and run posts on safeties. But sometimes you just got to go 3 wide, 5 wide, go with those double sets and create those bubbles in the defense, force them to cover space, and also have to worry about Garrett Green scrambling if it's not there. It just creates natural voids.
He's got second down and long down. On the Gallagher in motion. A give to Johnson. Right side. Running room. And he turns it upfield. And Johnson is inside the 10. Run down by Dylan Smith. And Justin Johnson with those fresh legs for 30.
Yes, and you're going to watch. They're running that outside zone, one of their favorite runs, the one that they're the best at. And their coach, Chad Scott, knows that they run well. Justin Johnson Jr. rides the wave with the offensive line and comes away with the first down. That was an example of their offensive line executing the play call that Chad Scott calls, get their hat in the crack.
He's got it again on first down and goal. All right, so you got to explain that. What is hat in the crack on that outside zone for West Virginia?
Yeah, so what they're teaching their offensive linemen is that you need to be hip to hip. We've heard that terminology. You need to be a convoy, but they want to get their hat in the crack between the 2 offensive linemen and the D linemen before he can penetrate and get downhill.
Green on a draw, nothing there. Now it's 3rd down and goal. So on a combo block.
Yeah, so you're going to watch on those combo blocks. Those offensive linemen are trying to make sure that they get their hat or their helmet across the defensive lineman's helmet. If they don't do that, they create an easy void for the defensive lineman to penetrate back into the backfield, which then causes the running back to settle his feet and not be able to make the right read. That's called getting the hat in the crack, and they did it beautifully on that run.
And now 3rd down, and Green steps up, throws too tall for Cole Taylor, and it brings up 4th down. Nick Martin brought pressure on Garrett Green.
Yeah, you know, when you're a right-handed quarterback, some of those bootlegs or escapes to the left, you got to focus on getting your shoulders downhill and your hips to your throw as much as possible so that you can be accurate with the football. Right there, Garrett Green wasn't able to do that. And it almost looked like he was trying to throw the ball to Yao Ming.
A little taller than the 6'7" Cole Taylor. And so on 4th down from 29 yards, here's Michael Hayes, the Georgia State transfer. And Hayes on its way, and good to tie this game at 27 inside of 10 minutes to go. This has been eventful. A little bit of everything for your taste in Morgantown.
ESPN College Football is delivered by Papa John's new garlic epic stuffed crust pizza, now available in spicy garlic, and in part by Dr. Pepper, the one fans deserve.
Hop on some public transportation. Just take a load off. The Mountaineer might need to do so. Been very busy here in this one. 27 all in the 4th.
Yeah, I just love the mullets. Look at those flow going up and down on all those push-ups. The old party in the front, but also a party in the back.
Would you ever go mullet, RG3?
Honestly, I used to have a shag growing up all throughout high school. Really, grade school, although high school, I had the black shag. And a lot of people made fun of me for it. But I don't think they would have made fun of me for it if I was here in West Virginia. I'd have fit in.
So a shag, is that like the Jimmy Butler? Or is that...
It's no, I don't know what the Jimmy Butler is, but it's a fade in the front with an afro in the back, and you can see why people laughed.
From just outside the goal line, this is Brennan Presley. Gets to the 20, turns it upfield, and tries to slip a tackle past the 25. Hey, tonight it's Duke, number 16 in the country, armed with that dominant defense in Tallahassee against 4th-ranked Florida State. Coverage starts at 7:30 Eastern, an hour from now, 4:30 Pacific on ABC and the ESPN app. You talked about this guy earlier, the QB for the Noles.
Yeah, and he doesn't have the crazy bona fide numbers like the Michael Penix Jr.'s or the Caleb Williams of the world, but what he does is he continues to win games and make the right plays at the right time. That could be enough if they go undefeated to get him in New York for the Heisman.
On the ground to start out for Oklahoma State, with Ollie Gordon for 3 yards and 160-plus rushing yards for the guy you would again expect to be very involved here down the stretch.
Yeah, you know, 168 last week, 163 so far today. He's their best player. He needs the ball more, honestly, even in these last 9 minutes of the game.
He's got nearly 600 rushing yards in his last 4 games, the most among Power 5 players going back to the start of week 4.
Wow.
Again, left side, and Gordon with a stiff arm and running angry to the sideline. And then a flag flies as he got hit out of bounds. We got 2 markers along the sideline.
Yeah, it looks like there's going to be a face mask and a late hit there. Ben Cutter, true freshman linebacker like we talked about before, definitely hit Ollie Gordon late out of bounds. Yeah, so you're going to see right here Beanie Bishop with the face mask. Boom, there's foul number 1.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 11. 15-yard penalty from the end of the play. Also, after the play, late hit, personal foul, defense number 15. That is also an additional 15 yards. First down.
You want to talk about costly.
Yeah, so you're going to see, once again, there's the face mask right there. That's legit on Beanie Bishop Jr. And then Ben Cutter with the hit. But I don't know what's better, the hit or the acting job right there by Mr. Ollie Gordon II. Woo! Matthew McConaughey needs to put that man in a movie. It was a late hit, don't get me wrong, but that was a really good acting job.
Sold well and 2 costly penalties. Before that point, West Virginia 3 penalties, 25 yards, and then 30 yards on the 2 flags on that 1 play at the end of the run. So plus territory from the 36 now for Oklahoma State with 8:40 to go. Gordon again. Bounces outside, and he just finds yards. Ollie Gordon inside the 30.
You know, he kind of reminds me a little bit of Le'Veon Bell. When Bell was at his prime, we always talked about how patient he was as a runner, to not just force himself into any type of hole, but the right hole at the right time. And we've seen that consistently today from Ollie Gordon.
Told the coaching staff that if they give him the ball, he will take advantage. More touches these last 4 games. And Mike Gundy says if he gets rolling, we just got to hop on his back. 600 yards even in his last 4 ball games on the ground. 2nd down and 3, and who else but Gordon, and there's nothing there. Down to Chris.
Ollie Gordon has called this stretch of games the revenge tour, because when you look back at last season, these were the teams that they lost to. Kansas, Kansas State, West Virginia. They've been able to do it against the Sunflower teams, trying to continue that revenge tour here tonight.
Said they all beat us last year, and it was the Mountaineers with a win 24-19 last season in Stillwater. And now Gordon and the Cowboys stare down 3rd down and 3. All eyes on Presley as well. Here he is, out of the backfield from Bowman, and Presley goes spinning into the open field. Gone! 29 yards for Brennan Presley.
We told you guys, always watch number 80, Brennan Presley, on 3rd downs, and this is exactly why. Just find a way to get the ball in the hands of your best playmaker, and then watch him. That man's got more moves than a military family, shaking and baking and getting vertical to go score that touchdown. Woo! I know Cowboy fans right now just threw their hats in the air in excitement.
Remember when we talked with Jordan Leslie, the Mountaineers defensive coordinator, yesterday? He said they do all this pre-snap movement with Brennan Presley. We got to remember on 3rd down, if he motions into the backfield, every set of eyes needs to be on him. They were, and he still scored.
Exactly. So here we are. They say the number 1 things for an offensive guy is time and space. Try to take it away. And Brennan Presley said, no, I've got the time machine for this touchdown.
Two ties, 4 lead changes, a pretty even split of possession between a couple of 4 and 2 teams who are both 2-1 in the Big 12. Oklahoma State, a couple of wins coming out of its bye week. They've reinvented themselves this season. And West Virginia trying to respond from the heartbreaking Hail Mary loss last week against Houston.
Yeah, a lot of the things that both teams have struggled with in the past few weeks, they've improved upon today, but the turnovers have hurt both teams.
Let's check in with Matt Berry in the studio.
Okay, friends, when it rains, it pours in Tuscaloosa. Milton, back, fumble, scoop, score. Jahad Campbell, 17-0 scoring stretch for Alabama since Tennessee went for it on 4th and 1 in their own territory. Jackson Dart at Ole Miss coming up against Auburn, coming up just over 30 minutes here on ESPN.
Going up against Hugh Freeze as we welcome you back to Morgantown. 34-27 is the Oklahoma State lead, and on the ground, it's Justin Johnson. Gets to the 2nd level, a 1st down before he was dropped by DJ McKinney at 17 yards.
Oh my goodness, look at the offensive line. Get to the 2nd level, get on the linebackers, and allow Justin Johnson Jr. to hit the 2nd level of defense before even getting touched. That is what we have seen from offensive lines like the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFL. And right there, West Virginia got themselves a big old hole for the running back.
A veteran group that got healthier this week with the return of Wyatt Milam. Johnson again, and Nick Martin meets him in the hole. Nick Martin is a tackling machine. Second down and 10.
The guy seems to be everywhere on the football field for Oklahoma State. But it really comes down to, what is Oklahoma State going to give up? They're trying to play with light boxes by doubling the wide receivers and not giving up the big plays down the field. And that means guys like Nicholas Martin have to step up and make those tackles inside the box.
At 17 tackles against K-State. He's got 16 in this one. A game high. Johnson left side. And a good gain for him on second down to bring up third down and manageable. Kendall Daniels the stop.
You know, we talked about how Justin Johnson Jr. hasn't just been out there all that often. But now it seems like they're starting to lean on him a little bit more as this game goes on. Look at his yards per attempt at 5.1, significantly higher than what it has been for C.J. Donaldson Jr.
Neil Brown said it after their last game. They were going to tinker with the running back rotation. A lot of Justin Johnson in this one. Third down. Pressure on Green. He steps up and he's tripped up. Short of the sticks. Goes down at the 50. And Xavier Benson again. And a decision with about 5 to go.
I've been talking about this 6'2", 224-pound linebacker Xavier Benson all game. Right there, if he doesn't trip up Garrett Green, he's probably still running right now, and certainly at a minimum would have gotten the first down. Right here, 4 minutes left in the game, 4th and 2. You gotta go for it right here. And I'm running the open set and trusting my quarterback, who has really been the spark plug for this offense, but that doesn't seem like that's what they're going to do.
First 4th down attempt of the game on either side. And it is the quarterback. Green escaping one, and he's dragged down by Kendall Daniels, and a turnover on downs.
What a job by Oklahoma State's defenders, being where they're supposed to be, getting a tackle for 4-yard loss on 4th and 2. Everyone in the stadium knew that once they lined up in that wing set with the tight ends, that it was going to be quarterback driven with the zone read, and they were all over it. I would have loved to have seen them go into one of those 2 or 3 wide receiver sets, open it up, run a pass concept, and allow Garrett Green to do what he's done all day, which is scramble when nothing is there. But they opted to go with the zone read, and Oklahoma State was all over it.
The best offensive weapon for West Virginia, Garrett Green, and you said it. You would trust him in that spot. They did, but a 9th TFL for the Cowboys defense gives them possession at midfield, leading with 4:25 to go. And now Ollie Gordon breaks the tackle. Ollie Gordon with running room. Inside the 10. House call. 46 yards for OG2.
Oh my goodness. Ollie Gordon, the second, or as my man Mike Monaco said, OG2. That's his nickname, people. Watch him. He gets his hat in the crack, makes sure he splits those defenders, and when he's off to the races, you better believe nobody's gonna catch him.
We have witnessed a star be born the last few weeks in the Big 12 and nationally. And again, last 4 weeks of college football, there's no Power 5 running back in the country with more rushing yards than Ollie Gordon, who is putting Oklahoma State on his back.
Yes, he is. He put the team on his back like that, Marshawn Lynch style. Ollie Gordon's letting it all hang out tonight. So give me something. I mean, what a swing of events, guys. Key plays on the last 2 possessions. Right here, we got the 4th down stop. Kendall Daniels gets Garrett Green down for a 4-yard loss, and then it's Ollie Gordon the second. OG2 putting the game on ice. Remember the name, because he's got game.
It is silly, some of the numbers we've seen from Ollie Gordon now these last few weeks, and today 200-plus rushing yards and 3 touchdowns. Only the 8th player all season in the country to do that. And look at his last 3 games now, including what he has done today with the 221 and the 3 scores on 27 carries. Big-time numbers. Ain't that right, Chris Bud?
Here to watch them. They haven't missed a game this season. And it was funny when we were talking with Mike Gundy, he said, hey, when I went to their in-home visit, there was this ginormous spread. I was like, I can't eat all that. And they said, if you're going to be with us and you're going to have fun with us, you better eat up.
Here's Garrett Green for a couple of yards. West Virginia down by 14, approaching 4 to go. And yeah, Mike Gundy said they also had like a full bar set up. Ollie's mother and his aunt, who was very close with as well. And they wanted Mike Gundy to participate in that too. Green checks it down to Donaldson on 2nd down, trying to get to the sideline. He drags Colin Oliver out and brings up 3rd down.
Well, Mike, where I'm from, if Mama and them cook for you, you better go ahead and eat you some of that food, all right? It's disrespectful not to eat food when you come in, especially on a recruiting visit, and you're trying to get their son or their loved one to come to your school.
Yeah, Mike Gundy said, Ollie, like his mother and aunt, a social butterfly. They are clearly the life of the party as well. 3rd down for the Mountaineers, and Green is under pressure, escapes toward the edge and turns it upfield. Tiptoes out of bounds past the 45, and that's much needed for West Virginia.
What did I tell you? If you just open up the offense for this guy and give him passing lanes, those passing lanes also turn into running lanes for the quarterback. And right now, he is seeing it clearly. No one's open. So he's using his legs just like that. This game's not over yet, and you can see Garrett Green fight.
14 yards to the 47, and Green across the middle. He's got a completion inside the 40. Colin Oliver makes the tackle there, wrapping up Traylon Ray.
Nice job by Traylon Ray of getting vertical as soon as he caught that pass. Those hidden yardage by wide receivers in that yak is just how quick they get downhill.
Green, sideline, Fox again makes a diving catch. Inside of the 5 for Preston Fox, and 34 yards.
What a back shoulder throw. Preston Fox, he's going to press the DB. He gets vertical, but he also leaves room for the quarterback to throw him on the outside. All young receivers, make sure you don't just run towards the sideline. Give the quarterback that room.
Donaldson up the middle, and he's in for a touchdown. Well, it was a 2-score game, and that's a quick strike for West Virginia.
And that right there is why you keep playing until the full time is off the clock. West Virginia with an amazing response to what felt like something momentum-wise was all shifting towards Oklahoma State. Garrett Green with a huge run early in the drive. A beautiful pass on the last play to Preston Fox, and now they punch it in, or could be back within 7 after this extra point.
And look at that, 6 plays, 75 yards in not even a $140 for the Mountaineers offense and Neil Brown's group. 2:37 to go, and Fox has come up with some big plays throughout this game. Michael Hayes for the point after. And he does indeed make this a 7-point margin inside of 2:40 to go. There is a marker at the 11-yard line, and Hayes is down in some discomfort. Hale Smith might have been involved in that for Oklahoma State.
Oh no.
The kick was good. Personal foul, roughing the kicker. Defense number 10, that 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
So you're going to see right here, as Hayes makes the kick, he gets run into by Cam Smith, or Cale Smith, the DB for Oklahoma State. That is not a pretty sight, because when you're a kicker and you're exposed like that, you hope everything's okay for Michael Hayes.
He is still down, as you see, and just getting to his feet and off toward the sideline. Fifth-year senior from Florence, South Carolina, who transferred in this year from Georgia State. The backup is redshirt junior Danny King. Still with 2:37 to go in this game.
Yeah, and you don't want to lose a kicker, especially in a tight game like this. It's a one-score game. Could come down to a kick at the end, potentially. So hopefully he's okay. And now, if you're Oklahoma State, this penalty could be something that helps flip the field if you don't go out on offense and close it out.
So it's 3 timeouts on each side, 2:37 to go. And who will kick off is Hayes was in the discomfort. He does handle the kickoffs as well. We mentioned Danny King, a guy who's never attempted a field goal. 2 for 2 on extra points back in week 2 against Duquesne. And it is Danny King who comes out with the kickoff at the 50 after the penalty. And Mike Gundy's lead has dwindled to 7 here in Morgantown. So they come out and line up for an apparent onside kick.
Okay. It makes you wonder, is this their normal kicker for an onside kick? What are they trying to do here at Oklahoma State?
From the 50, 2:37 to go. 3 timeouts. They realign. King's kick takes a high hop and is fielded by Oklahoma State as Brennan Presley pounces on it. West Virginia was trying to set up their top wideout, Devin Carter.
Yeah, they were trying to set him up to be able to run in from the side. Honestly, never seen this before. It's pretty cool. But it leaves them a little bit behind, so as the ball takes that giant hop, Devin Carter isn't able to get there from the outside. Nice job by Brennan Presley securing that football. Because as we know, the ball can bounce many different ways. But you put your best player in that position to make a play, and he did for them.
Shades of what the Patriots did on that field goal block earlier this season, timing it up off the edge.
That is true. We always know Bill Belichick's good for one of those rule-breaking type of things. Not rule-breaking, but, you know, stretching rules.
All right, so 2:36 left. And who else but Ollie Gordon? More running room up ahead. Picks up 8 yards. Anthony Wilson in on the stop as we tick under 2:30 remaining.
And you know, Mike, we've been praising Ollie Gordon II a lot today because it's warranted. He's running the football at an effective level. But this offensive line for Oklahoma State, you know, they've had multiple guys go down in this game, and they keep creating holes for Ollie Gordon to get to the second level of the defense without being touched. That cannot be stressed enough. The big fellas up front don't always get enough love, so we should show them that for their performance tonight.
Joe Michalski anchors the line at center. Coaching staff told us he's been their best this season. Gordon again makes a man miss, and look out! Ollie Gordon again off to the races for a touchdown. 53 yards.
Holy guacamole. Holy guacamole. Is this guy going to run for 300 tonight? I mean, as a running back, sometimes you ride the wave, and then you have to provide the wave, and that's exactly what Ollie Gordon did. Another jump cut, great blocking from the big fellas up front. Then he thought about going down for a second. He said, we'll go ahead and score this touchdown. 282 yards on 29 carries. Wow.
4 touchdowns for Ollie Gordon II, the sophomore from Fort Worth, who just about every time West Virginia has inched closer now has had an answer. And Ollie Gordon II is a superstar.
Yeah, look, watch this jump cut. He sees it all, jump cuts, because in this situation, the offensive line didn't do what they were supposed to do. And he just embarrassed that defensive lineman, put him on his cheeks like a toilet seat, and then took it to the house. That's what I call helping a brother out. when things don't always go right, special players have to make special plays. And Ollie Gordon has been the best back in the country the last few weeks.
RG3, look at the numbers just in the fourth quarter here.
My God. Man, there's a lot of teams that wish they had a back that could do what this man can do
in a game. And he's done those numbers in the fourth. And yeah, who wouldn't want to have Ollie Gordon? And you think about this for Oklahoma State. I mean, you mentioned that heartbreaking loss they had earlier. They got smacked 33-7 at home against South Alabama. They reinvented themselves.
Yep.
And Mike Gundy said to us, we evaluated our run concepts and we fit them really in large part to the strengths of Ollie Gordon and changed what we do offensively. And man, they are riding him now.
Yes, they are.
Touchback with 1:40 to go. We check in again with Matt Berry.
Guys, what a finish between Wake Forest and Pitt. Santino Marucci to Cameron Height, 7 seconds left. Wake Forest comes back to win 21-17. It's an SEC Saturday night. Quinshad Judkins and Ole Miss getting set for Auburn just over 11 minutes here on ESPN.
Santino Marucci, good Irish boy, and OG2 enjoying life. He's snapping pictures with his big dogs up front.
Yeah, listen, he knows who helps him get to do what he's doing right now. It's those big fellas up front.
Incomplete from Garrett Green, intended for his tight end, Cole Taylor. There is a penalty flag on the far side of the field near the line of scrimmage.
Offside defense, number 87, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
I mean, you think about what OG2 has done in this game. 250 plus rushing yards and 4+ rushing touchdowns. Only the second guy in the country to do that this year.
Yeah, like I said, he's been the best back in the country the last few weeks. I mean, you can argue with what he's done and his productiveness that he should be in the talks for one of the best backs in the country this season.
And Green takes off and he rumbles into plus territory. Down to the 47-yard line, down by 14 inside of 90 seconds to go.
Yeah, obviously for West Virginia right now, you want to score as fast as humanly possible, so they're rushing up to get to the line to run as many plays as they can.
And now Green steps up and launches for Fox, and incomplete with McKinney in coverage for the Cowboys.
You could make the argument there that was pass interference, but when you're the receiver, you have to make sure that they don't push you out of bounds in those situations. So for Preston Fox, if he was closer to the football, the ref would have deemed that catchable. But because it was so far inside and he got stretched out wide, they didn't throw the flag.
So minute 15 to go for Garrett Green and the Mountaineers here at home. Green down the center of the field, and it's Horton. Hangs on to it. Got popped by DJ McKinney.
Nice shot down the seam there by Garrett Green, going to the guy that they said was a one-trick pony, Mr. E.J. Horton, but he's showing off he's willing to make catches in traffic as well.
29 yards, and Green loads it up again, floats toward the end zone, and incomplete. Wanted Taylor. Cam Epps in coverage, stood his ground.
I love it. That was definitely pass interference right there on Cameron Epps. You're going to see Cole Taylor's going to get to the top of his route. He comes back to try to make that play. Although Epps has his eyes back, he's not actually making a play on the football. The refs have to get their flags out in that situation and throw the penalty.
Guy who leads the team in receptions coming in, Cole Taylor, you see, held to just those 2 grabs for very little. Green toward the end zone and incomplete. McKinney again in coverage. The redshirt freshman against E.J. Horton.
Right now, Garrett Green is doing what he's supposed to do. He is giving his receivers chances, even though it's in tight coverage. In these moments late in the game, you got to be able to make those types of catches for your quarterback, no matter what the DB is doing to you. He's going to be tight in coverage because they're not trying to give up big plays either. You got to learn how to strain and make those plays.
Saw Horton jawing at the end of the play with the Cowboys defensively. We're showing blitz on 3rd down. They bring pressure, and Green to the sideline and couldn't sync up with Devin Carter. Incomplete, and 4th down with 54 seconds to go.
Yeah, and it's a great job by defensive coordinator Brian Nardo. He knows in this situation we're either going to die fast or we're going to die slow. He's trying to get the quarterback to get the ball out of his hands as fast as possible. He brings more than they can block, and it causes the wide receivers, they have to get their clock in their brain to go off a little bit faster, knowing that the quarterback is under pressure. Garrett Green threw that before he wanted to, but it was because the defense made him.
Brian Nardo orchestrating this defense, a guy who grew up a little over an hour from here in Wheeling, West Virginia. Free play with a flag down, and Green on 4th down is intercepted in the end zone by Cale Smith. But it looked like offside on Oklahoma State.
You love it when you throw a pick and get a free play as a quarterback.
So stock that one.
You know, hey, doesn't count.
And we await the word from David Alvarez.
Offside. Defense number 30, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
And a game that's had so many ebbs and flows in this one that started sloppy as you check out the play on the perimeter and Colin Oliver.
Yeah, it's Oklahoma State's best defender, Colin Oliver, just getting a little too eager to get after the quarterback. You know, they're trying to get those sacks here at the end of the game, but you don't want to put yourself in a position. Well, now it's a much more makeable 4th down for West Virginia.
They need 5, got to get to the 7.
I like the fact that they've gone with a double set. You got a chance to give your quarterback running lanes if nothing is there.
Pressure again on Green, who stands in. Sideline incomplete. DJ McKinney. And that will do it in Morgantown.
Yeah, you're going to see this switch release at the bottom of your screen by Devin Carter and Preston Fox. They both collision at the top of the route. If you're Devin Carter there, you got to come back to that football. Because as a wide receiver, I always would tell my guys this, and the coaches echoed the same. If you come back to the football, it doesn't matter what the defender is doing, but you never want to be flat-footed and allow the DB to get to the ball before you can make the catch.
Well, how about this for Mike Gundy? Said he was so tired of getting his tail kicked after those couple of losses earlier this year. They've reinvented themselves. They have tackled a lot better, and they are riding their star running back. And they're about to move on to 5-2 overall and 3-1 in the Big 12.
Well, if they keep riding Ollie Gordon II the way they have the past few weeks, they're going to be right in the thick of this competition to go to that Big 12 championship game. Because as you said, Mike, they did reinvent themselves. And look at Mike Gundy. He's gone a long way from, I'm a man, I'm 40. Now he's got 400 games under his belt, and his team is playing at an extremely high level.
And the Cowboys take down the Mountaineers 48-34, steered by Ollie Gordon in this one in Morgantown. Wraps things up from Morgantown, West Virginia. Ole Miss, Auburn is next with Joe Tessitore, Jesse Palmer, and Katie George. For RG3 and Chris Budden and our entire crew, Mike Monaco saying so long.